Yes, people, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another evening transfer watch show on a Chelsea Perspective. This evening, we have, again, as usual, it's become a cliche. We have quite a few things to talk about. We'll talk about Jules Kounde, where we at with this, rumored transfer, imminent move from Sevilla to Chelsea Football Club. We'll also talk about all the transfer target that Chelsea are looking at. Again, it's quite a lot. So sit back, relax, and we'll get into it together and learn from whatever updates we have from the panelists and from those in the chat. So let's get into the show. Yes, people, again, welcome back to Chelsea Perspective. Welcome back to another transfer, a Chelsea transfer watch on Chelsea Perspective, the evening version. Again, like we've always done on this show on Chelsea Perspective, we advise you not to believe that anything is done until you see an official announcement or statement from the club before you believe it. But the truth is, like I said during the morning show, the smoke, there's so much smoke about this, particular transfer of Jules Kounde from Sevilla to Chelsea Football Club that it's become so thick that you can see it written boldly on it that he's coming to Chelsea. But again, hold your breath until you see the player holding the shirt and we get an official statement from the club. That's when you know it is really done. Again, we're gonna as it is a tradition and Chelsea Perspective here. I'm gonna go take a look at what we have in the chart already. Say hello to the people because we're like a family here, and then we can continue the show. So thank you again for stopping by, for joining the show. Let's shoot for 300 likes by the end of the show. Again, like I've always argued, you don't have to donate your hard-earned cash to the channel. All you have to do is just keep watching like you're watching, even if you're watching and you're not typing in the chat, even if you're watching and you're not saying anything, those things do go along with. So thank you. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. I sincerely do appreciate that. Excuse me. Now we have Lamin Boo. A contest says Chelsea forever. Yes, Chelsea forever indeed. And a funny comment from True Blue. He says, as Kounde hurts his head, and that's probably from when he looked at this picture here. Again, it makes sense to ask that question, but I truly do understand. Again, we have Match host. He's laughing. He says fake news rampant too. I don't think it's fake news. I think everything we're hearing are in fact the truth. The only thing I want you to do is not believe that it is done until we get an official statement from the club. That's when you know it's done. But everything we've been hearing are still happening. There's still a chance that Barcelona can hijack it, no matter how you see it. But we're hearing that it's becoming closer and closer and closer by the minute. Chelsea are moving forward now. Yes, of course, we knew before time that the club are well and truly doing something behind the scenes, even though the fans have been confused, have been impatient and not sure what's been going on. But we knew before time that the club, the new owners, that they are all well and truly hard at work behind the scenes, even though there were restrictions that stopped us from talking to players earlier than usual. Those things were a serious setback. But then after everything, I think we're making great progress. Even those things themselves did not stop us from making great progress. So yes, again, we're moving forward. I believe you. We need attackers now. Again, it all comes down to what Thomas Tuchel wants, and I've refrained from arguing that he needs attackers. Again, the question remains: what type of attacker does he need? I don't know. Only he knows. Again, I've argued before that the truth is he doesn't put good traditional strikers to good use, and I don't think that has changed because there are situations that you look at that you come to the conclusions that he hasn't really changed. We need attackers. Yeah, keep clamoring, and I hope he gets to it. Yes, Rice and the Young will fix our lineup. I don't think it makes sense to go for them both. I think going for the Young alone is a huge solution on its own. If people argue, okay, uh, that's a huge difference with Rice and the Young. Again, they're two different type profile type players. If you argue, okay, that Rice he has the capability of slotting into the central defense, the Young also can do that. He did it at Barcelona when they had injury issues. We're all a true blue. Yep, we are. Rice is overrated. Again, that's your argument. Some people think otherwise. I think he's a good player, but I've always argued that it doesn't look like he will fit into Thomas Tuchel's style of play. Nunes will be amazing too. Are you talking about Matheus Nunes, the midfielder? I think that's the one that I'm hearing that we're talking to. We're talking to his club, but I'm not sure how truthful that is. It remains to be seen whether, in fact, we're really talking to defenders, to midfielders. I'm not sure Rice and the Young count as attackers. No, they don't. That's a very polite way of correcting the person that made that statement. I see him, again, Nunes. I know I recognize the Sporting CP guy. I think he's a very good player. Roman had wrong people in the background, I believe. I don't know. I'm not going to argue that. I think he had brilliant people also. I think a mixture of brilliant people, and you could say some people that are proven to be problematic. Look how much our new owners done so quickly. Again, our approaches differ, but there's a chance if Marina was the person that should get those deals done for cheap. You argue that. I know you're probably referring to Marina when you said that. I have a true blue copyrighted. Get your own names. Yeah. Okay. Good evening, Kuchila. Good evening to you too, my brother DJ Sal. I hope you're doing well. I think I'm hearing a whistling here. I'm gonna try to fix that. Hopefully, it doesn't break the whole thing today, like it did the other day. I hope that's not the case. Okay, please do let me know if you can still hear me. I think you can still hear me, but what I'm hearing is that my browser has lost connection with my camera, but I'll try and sort that out in a bit. It says good evening, Kuchila panel and Charles Lamley. Nice to see you again, brother. I hope you're doing well. Yes, says Benjamin Pavard to Chelsea. He's one player. If we're really looking at him, I'm not sure why we're looking at him. Again, I just fixed something and something was broke, and that's exactly what I did not want to do here. My camera isn't working anymore. I'm gonna try to fix it. I'm not sure. I should have just left the whole thing the way it was, but that's by the way. Anyway, let's see. I think it's fixed right now. Thank you very much for your patience. Benjamin, again, Parvat, I don't know if we're looking at him, what are we really trying to build here? Because we're hearing that we're looking at Benjamin Parvat, we're looking at Kimpembe, we're looking at Vadio, and we already have Kounde. Let's assume we believe Kounde is coming in. We have Koulibaly, Thiago Silva. Again, how many of them? What are we building? Are we building, replicating Fort Knox or something? You let me know. Again, it says, let's not start attacking the background people who delivered us. Yep, two UEFA Champions Leagues, two Europa Leagues, EPL, and numerous cups. I don't think it's time to attack anybody. We should just move on and then see how well the new owners, how well they would do. Send Maxima to Chelsea. I've heard that argument before. Again, he's a player I think he's a good player, but my argument is this: he still plays like a raw talent. He still plays like he's just emerged into the scenes of professional football. His To me, he overdoes it in most cases. That sometimes he even dribbles himself. Okay, but let's ask this question: is there a chance that he comes to Chelsea and does well? Yes, of course. Those things do happen. There's a chance he joins a better team, a team that's better at this point, better than Newcastle United, and becomes, a wonderful footballer. It remains to be seen, but I think there are other options I'd rather us go for than him. Hey, hi guys, hi coach, how are you doing? Chris, CMC, Chris, we haven't seen you in a while. I hope you're doing well. Please do let us know that you're doing well. Hi, True Blue says I will jump in. Kachila, just charging my phone. Okay, okay, go ahead, charge your phone again. I hope you're well, Coach. Big up, I'm well, and I hope you're well too. And this is my brother again, DJ Saf says Nunes deal will be looked into once Kounde and Kimpembe deals are completed. Don't rule out Neymar, Ronaldo, or Rafael Leao. Attacking a player to bring in. Again, I know I haven't seen. I don't know if I should count Kounde as a marquee signing. I don't know if I should count Koulibaly as a marquee signing. If you're in the chat, let me know. Maybe Raheem Sterling. Yeah, Raheem Sterling, I think, counts as a marquee signing. You let me know if those players, if they all count as a count as marquee signings. I just finished my last meeting of the day. So happy to be here. A perfect way to start the weekend. Yes, indeed, we're happy to have you too. Your support means the world to us, and thank you for the love you've shown to this channel. That means a lot to us. TT can help us answer that. Yeah, maybe that's the truth. The Deadwood is down to the sporting director. And again, how difficult it will be. Okay, I get where you're coming from. But doing away with them is what we should be talking about right now. And we're hearing some arguments and some articles online saying we're stuck with them. I don't know how we're going to deal with them. Truth says, I had to lie down and rest when I saw you linked. I saw us linked to St. Maxima. Yeah, again, I'm confused about that one. When is the transfer window closing? I think September. If you're in the chat, correct me if I'm wrong. Ty, welcome back to the panel. How are you doing, brother?
Well, why I sent you something, so you should know how I am.
Yeah, I clicked it, and because I've started the show already. I cannot watch it until maybe after the show. Maybe when someone is talking, I'll mute myself and listen to it to see what's going on. But are you still able to participate in the show?
Yeah, I am. I'm able to separate the way I feel.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I know you've been following everything as they happen. Any new developments?
Actually, no. Honestly, it's just basically the same thing. And with what Tuchel was saying, what you were saying to Nizar Kinsella, and the only thing that can really be said is that you have to take that with a pinch of salt, because I don't think Tuchel's just gonna come out and just say everything that he thinks.
Yeah. It says hope we can wrap this deal up within I think they're looking at a couple of players. John, that's a question from John Nyangulu. I think John, believe me, I think the club are talking to a lot of players. Let me just phrase it that way, because it's clearly a rebuild, and we're starting to see that it is indeed a rebuild. Look at how many defenders were signed. We're going to be signing if we can get them all across the line. Plus, we heard already he's looking to let go 4 attacking players. So if 4 attacking players are leaving, we most definitely will be bringing in 4 attacking players. And there's also the likelihood of bringing in some midfielders too. So we'll see what happens there. Says Sav and Kochila, now bigger brother, match host, nice to see you here. Barca is giving up so they can sign Aspi. That may well be the case, but then again, although we're not able, to how do I phrase it, to be able to tell what Todd Boehly and Laporta, what they discussed during their meeting in Spain. But I think part of it is how to come to a compromise and then not to be be going into what beating clashing in every player that both clubs want to buy. I think it's starting to show. They talked about how to find a common ground, and then each club will now go for a player that they prioritize, and the other goes for the player that they prioritize, and it's a win-win situation for both clubs. How long will it take for Kounde to get announced? That is something I cannot say right now. Usually, you don't. There's a lot. I think I learned something new from True Blue in the morning. I think he said something like even there are some documents. The documents has to be registered with UEFA. I don't think he mentioned FIFA, but I think he mentioned UEFA, and then he mentioned the EPL. So the process it's a complicated process. It's not that simple. And I want to welcome DJ South to the panel. DJ, how are you doing, brother? It's
Hey, big
evening,
up,
so
guys.
you have time to join us today.
Yeah, what's going on? You guys okay?
Yeah, I can't complain. I
Big
can't
up,
complain.
big up to you, DJ.
Hey, hi, what's going on, bro? You all good?
Yeah. Thank you, DJ. I want to get your thoughts immediately, DJ. Your thoughts on where we are now with the Jules Kounde development.
Yeah.
And did you hear any new developments yet? Because we're seeing some stuff.
Yeah.
Some are trying to say there are some delays, which I don't believe.
No, I think the only latest thing I saw, and I do believe, I think everyone else must have seen it as well, was a tweet that Fabrizio Romano sent out saying that the paperwork was with Seville since yesterday, and all it is now is the deal needs to be, deal should be, I do believe it's supposed to be a 5-year contract that he's getting, and I think he's going to be earning, I do believe, I think it was 8 or 9 million something in euros, which works out to about 163k a week, I think, from what I understand. So yeah, but it's on a 5-year contract. But I don't know if it's 55 million plus add-ons going up to 60 million for that deal to be done. So it's 50. I think it's 55 million plus another 5 million add-ons or something like that. So yeah, in total, it should be about 60 million for the whole deal to be done. But as I said, all I saw is Fabrizio Romano's tweet was the paperwork is all with Sevilla. I think they're just going to get the paperwork sorted out now.
Yeah, but I think the paperwork. Most people are always in a hurry to question why, calling every little, step, seeing it as a delay. It's a complicated process, and we're talking about something that involves exchange. Involves one club paying the other club millions. Paying the money in millions, and the slightest misrepresentation of anything on the papers, can cause a lot of lawsuits and issues, that we don't want to have, So we're better off, taking them gradually, ensuring that everything are as they should be. But again, it's one that I'm looking forward to. I'm excited. I hope it gets completed soon and he gets announced. Those things, I think it will go a long way in the fan base, because I also did fear that we were going to lose this one, but I'm glad we did not lose. I'm hoping it's not done yet, but the signs are that he's coming to us. So we're going to start by looking at things on the screen. We start by looking at the fact he's training alone now, but that's no sign, that's no assurance that he's joining us. Because I want to come back to you also, DJ. I'll start with you. There's still a chance that Barcelona can still hijack the deal, because he hasn't signed. It's not done and dusted yet.
No, it's not. But from my understanding is Barcelona are now supposed to be getting this guy Martinez deal, and they are now looking at 2 other targets. Now, Pau Torres has been mentioned as one of them, and I do believe, and it only came out, I don't know, I've got to look at it properly and see who the reliable source is, if it is a reliable source. I do believe the other player they're looking at is Malang Sarr from us, because apparently they were looking at him last season, and they could be going in for him again.
Who did you say wants Malang Sarr?
Barcelona. Sorry, bro?
Did you say Barcelona wants Malang Sarr?
Well, there's one tweet or two, a couple of tweets that went around. I don't know how true those true journalists are, how true they are. If it is true, I don't know. But there was something going around saying that they're looking at Malang Sarr, and obviously this Martinez guy they're supposed to be getting wrapped up as well. Obviously, the other one's been mentioned is, as I said, is Pau Torres. So they are looking at a couple of centers. But then I'm thinking, how many are they going to go for? But they've got Christensen already. You're getting Pau Torres in. I mean, you got Serginho Dest still playing there. I mean, what are you going to do? How are you going to fit in all these players, mate? I mean, Serginho Dest is still a player of this. So I don't know. I don't know how true the Malang Sarr talk is. To me, I think it's just a load of utter nonsense, because I think the two journalists the two people that actually said it don't look reliable at all, to be honest with you. I've never actually heard of them before, so there might be some fake people putting out tweets out there. But yeah, but I did hear Pau Torres is another target of theirs as well. So let's see what happens on that one.
Ty, your thoughts? Do you think that this is one? We're getting this one over the line, or you're still concerned?
Honestly, anyways, I just looking in the comment and I saw something. I don't know why I looked here. Anyways, crap, I lost my thoughts now. Oh yeah, Jules Kounde. For me, I don't think it's done. Like I think many people do. See, because there's for those people who are really relying on reporters to say that this is the case, here we go, or whatever they want to say it's done. They will probably say that it's not done yet. It's that we're not in the clear. There is still a possibility that Barcelona can come in and snatch him up, because if reports are true, which I think it's possibly true, he's open to both teams. So if they come for him and they offer more than what we have offered, he could quite easily say that not him. Sevilla will accept it, and he'll be able to to say that I'll go there because I'm open to joining them. So I think in that sense it's not done. But at the same time, like DJ was saying, they are reportedly looking at other targets. Martinez, if I'm not mistaken, he's 31, and he is playing for Athletic Bilbao or Athletic Club, depending on what name you want to use. So I think they are looking at different targets, but at the same time, it's not done yet, and that could be a cover up at any moment, and they could always try to snatch Kounde up. But right now, there's a good indication if what Romano is saying about the paperwork being with Sevilla at that point, then maybe that is a positive. But I mean, right now it's not done, and I don't think that we're in the clear just yet, like some people are saying, because they can always come in still. But there is something to be hopeful of and be confident about, even if it's just a little bit. But I mean, right now it's just important, to just wait until there's a confirmation from Chelsea specifically, and not only just on hearsay from these reporters, so they can quite easily get things wrong.
Yeah, again, that's something I'd advise you to do. You hear some outlets will tell you that it's basically done. It's just final details. We heard the same thing in the case of Rafinha, and also we're seeing Willian. Prime example is Willian, who had undergone medicals at Tottenham and still signed for Chelsea Football Club. So don't hold your breath because you die. Just like I've always told you guys, just group everything you hear out there together and label them, rumors or speculations. With time until you get an official statement from the club, don't believe that it's done. It is that simple. And again, we have 92 people watching already, and we're just 28 minutes into the show. If you haven't, please keep liking the video because the more you like the video, the more the YouTube algorithm will be triggered and the more people will be able to reach. And here, Chama Yosef says, hello, everyone. Hello to you too, Chama. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. Always nice to see you. Charles Conte says, Chelsea should get a send up Maxima or Rafael Leon and Matthias Nunes. Again, maybe Rafael Leon and Nunes, but Maxima for me, no. I'm not going to keep repeating myself about my argument. We need 40 to 45 for Aspilicueta. Yeah, it sounds easy. You're not going to be even get up to 20 from him because he has just a year left on his contract. If you try to push it too much, he'd stay and live on a free, next window. next summer window. Yeah, good luck indeed to him getting that much money. Someone is saying the figures were just mentioned in a verbal agreement. Paperwork not yet. Fab says paperwork was sent. What do you think? That's why I would say again, there's no way to say to pick out what is the truth. There are a lot of stuff out there. You see what you just read. Some are saying what's left is just the final details, and what you just read right now is telling us that it's just all that has been done are just verbal agreements, nothing on paper yet. So that's why you should be patient until you get an official statement from the club. That's when you know it's done. So again, it's not that simple. I am so happy we got Kounde over the line. I wouldn't say we've gotten it over the line yet. Fingers crossed. He says, okay, now I get it. I cannot wait to see what TT does with our defense and formation this year. Obviously, still 5 weeks in the window. Deals moving fast now. But the Premier League starts just in 3 weeks, right? So we're there already. Again, I knew all along that we will have a good transfer window. My argument has always been that by the time the transfer window shuts, we will have a good transfer window. But my only concern is it will be difficult to get them in on time so that they'll be able to train with their teammates during the preseason, at least develop a bit of chemistry before before the season starts proper. Moscow Mary says, how are you feeling, Blues, with Chelsea agreeing personal terms with Frankie de Jong? Where did you get that from? I don't think that has happened. Except if you can share the source with us, I'd like to know. I cannot wait for Kounde to play for Chelsea. I can't either. I think he's a good player. Hi guys, did we succeed in Kounde? Again, the signs are that he will eventually come to us, or maybe that the deal is closed. But until it happens, please be careful. He says the Malang Sarr story is fake. Possibly, Ty talks big enough. Be serious. I'm not worried, but okay, he's typing in patois right now. I think I get it. Again, let me see. Kuchila cannot believe that Barcelona are interested in Malang Sarr. Yes, I can. I cannot believe it. But the truth is, I think that's a good player in the kid. He just needs time, and with time, I think we'll start to recognize him recognize the fact that he is a good player. Okay, let me see anything else there. I think I'm going to scroll to the very bottom, and then he says Malang Sarr story is from 2 years ago when he became a free agent from Nice. Okay, not recent. Like I said, I didn't believe the Sarr story, nonsense story. Again, that doesn't mean that Barca wouldn't want them, but I just don't believe it. And I have to be honest with you. Kounde wants us to stay with Barca. Will he give his 100% performance with Chelsea? Yes, of course. Yes, of course, because he's always wanted to come to Chelsea, according to what we've heard, what we heard in the past. Plus, we've been trying to get them. It's that simple. You put your money where your mouth is. It's that simple. Hazard wanted to play for Madrid, but you know how well he did at Chelsea Football Club, and Hazard has not been able to replicate his Chelsea form at Real Madrid. You know that also yourself. Again, hello guys. I cannot wait to see Kounde announced at Chelsea. I can't wait either. I wouldn't be surprised if Kounde goes to Barca, especially after Chelsea treated him. Again, I would not have been surprised, but it's looking more likely that he's going to come to us right now. I hope Chelsea can complete deals for Kounde. I hope so too. Right now, Joe the Boy says Mendy, Chilwell, Koulibaly, Silva, James, what a back line. It's a good one. I'm going to scroll to the bottom, very bottom of the whole comment. If I miss your comment, be sure that I will try to read your subsequent input contributions in the chat. Barca has given up, according to reports. It's a matter of time. Barca made a bid for Rafinha, but not in this case. This is not economically advantageous for them. Again, that may well be the case. Kim, so you changed your avatar. If we get, here we go. I will, again, this is, Fabrizio Romano is waiting for the tap in. And then boom, figures. Here we go. I think he's probably waiting to be sure that everything as because if you that's a chance if you rush it again you probably cost yourself some how do I get damage in terms of your reputation and all that. But that's by the way. I'm gonna come back to the panel right now. And I want us to be looking and analyzing things we see out there. Kounde training separately. I think we've seen that. And this one here, Thomas Tuchel. Okay, we'll talk about that one later too. Here's the one I want us to talk about here. That begs the question: what are we trying to build here? Chelsea are also targeting Paris Saint-Germain, Presnel Kimpembe, and RB Leipzig's Josko Vadio. Again, plus all the players, defenders were signed already. DJ, your thoughts? What are we trying to build?
Look, mate, it looks like we're doing quite a bit because I think we were slow to the market. We're now making up that time. And if you think about the deals we've actually gone and done, they're hardly much money spent, on them all. So what Chelsea are doing, obviously, is these links to Kimpembe and Gvardiol. It doesn't surprise me because obviously if Kounde does come in, we're going to still. He's always said he wanted to get 3 centre backs, so I can understand us going for Kimpembe or Gvardiol because they're both top quality players. Whichever one comes in, I'll be happy. But I've always said from the beginning of this transfer window, when we were linked with the 3 defenders, my 3 always were Kounde, Koulibaly and Kimpembe. So if we end up getting Kimpembe, I'll be very happy. Otherwise, I'd go with Gvardiol as well. But whatever we're trying to build, it's going to be big for next season. So yeah, mate, I'm looking forward to that season. I'm looking forward to next season. Trust me, it's going to be good for us.
So you're for signing that many defenders. Why not stop? Why not stop at Kimpembe? And Gvardiol is also left-footed centre back.
It's one or the other.
Kimpembe, the same thing.
It's one or the other, mate. It's not going to be both of them. It'll be 3 defenders. So he obviously wants to get 3 centre backs in. Obviously, Koulibaly is one of them. Kounde hopefully will be the other, and he's going to be between those 2. I can't see him going for both of them because obviously once he gets the 2 defenders in, he'll then look at the midfield and the attack. Because I do believe we're going to get an attacking player in and a midfielder in. So it'll be between those 2. I'm not saying we should all go out and get defenders, but it'll definitely be between those 2 with the Kounde and Koulibaly deals.
Ty, you have anything to deals? You have anything to say to that?
Yeah, I do. With Kimpembe and Gvardiol, I feel that the age difference. Obviously, if we bringing in Gvardiol, he's young, isn't he? So with Kimpembe coming in, with the age experience, I feel that Kimpembe will be a better choice. But I don't mind bringing in Gvardiol. I don't mind it.
Ty, your thoughts again, because this sounds like we need them all. Let me read it again. Maybe I misread it. It says Chelsea are also targeting Paris Saint-Germain's Presnel Kimpembe and RB Leipzig's Josko Vadio. It didn't say one or the other, but I get that. I think DJ is correct. I don't think we'll be going for both because it doesn't make business sense, actually. Ty, your thoughts, do you think we'll be getting all these defenders?
I do think it's one or the other because it would be foolish to go for 3 centre backs that has the ability to play on the left. I mean, Kimpembe is left-sided, Gvardiol is left-sided, and he's also a left back at RB Leipzig, and also Koulibaly can play on the left. So those are 3 players. I think it's one or the other in terms of Kimpembe or Gvardiol. But I don't think we do. I don't think we need 3. I think we only need 2, and then we have players at the club that can actually still do the job and have players that are coming back from loans that actually deserve a chance and they're working for the chance. It's not like they're just there and they're not doing anything or they're sulking around. They're actually trying. So I think they deserve a chance, like Chalobah did. And I know that there's circumstances around why Chalobah got the chances that he got. But I mean, even in the Super Cup game and the Crystal Palace game, it was because of the hard work he put in, and I'm seeing other defenders do that. So I'm not sure about signing 3 centre backs when you already have 6 centre backs. Although Malang Sarr is somebody that is controversial in terms of his performances last season and everything. You do have him there. You have Ampadu's there as well. Levi Cowell is still at the club. You do have Chalobah who's been there since last season. Silva is still there, although he may not play a lot of games, and Koulibaly and along those lines as well. So I don't know about having 8 centre backs really. It's good to have rotation and everything and having squad depth, but that is too many players and you can't guarantee them more minutes. Although we have 5 subs, you can't.
Hey, Mr. Perspective, thank you for having me. By the way.
Yeah, no worries. Go ahead, Ty.
So in that sense, yeah. So you can't have 8 centre backs. So in that sense, I think it's one or the other. But I just don't think that it makes sense to sign 3 centre backs because we have other centre backs that are actually doing the job, and plus, although it's not confirmed that it's not finalized with Aspie. I know people think Aspie is washed, or that's their words, not mine. But I mean, there's still a good defender in there, and it doesn't mean that he has to play every game because that's not possible. Yeah. And
hey, Mr. Perspective, can I speak on what Ty just said? Because I like what he said, but I have some other things to say about what he just said, if you don't mind.
No, go ahead. Ty, also, I hope you don't mind, Ty.
Yeah, and I need to apologize to him privately too.
No, you don't. No, we're Ty. Hey, Ty, we're fine. Don't worry about it, buddy. The one thing, it's not Chelsea fans that are saying we need 2 center backs or 3 center backs. It's the coach. The coach is saying we need 3 new center backs. So you have to take that into consideration.
Let me ask you this, Carlito. Yeah, you just said the coach is saying. How did you hear that? How did you know?
Because
a lot of people are saying that, and I don't know where they get that from.
Oh no, Tuchel's been very clear about it.
Did he say it anywhere in public?
Oh yeah, he says it in all his press conferences. He's doing press conferences 2 times a day in America right now for his preseason tour, and he says it like publicly. And he said it again about 45 minutes ago. Yeah, like he wants 3 center backs. So it's not about whether the fans want 3 center backs or not. It's literally the coach.
So if he says he wants 3 center backs, which means DJ is correct and Ty is correct, and I think all the panelists here are correct, because I was questioning what are we trying to build here? Are we replicating Fort Knox?
No. What we're trying to do is we're trying to understand that AC is gone, Rudiger is gone, and Aspie are gone. And what we're doing is we're replacing them with 3 players, each of which are better than the players that we have replaced. And number 1, Koulibaly is better than Rudiger. Anyone that says otherwise doesn't understand that Koulibaly is respected as one of the 3 best center backs in the entire world. And has been for 5 years. This is not just a man that's done it at his club level. This dude just won the African Nations Cup. This is a far better
intelligent player, if you want to see it that way.
Yeah, and he was the captain of the AFCON.
He did no. Like you want to talk about like a real leader? This is someone that was basically built in a lab. All right.
Well, let's bring you up.
Hold on, because I have to do with the other 2. The other 2 are this. All right, so Rudiger, not as good as Koulibaly. Andreas Christensen, got those bubble guts, bro. All right, he poops his pants a lot, and he gets nervous, and he gets injured in half the games he plays in. So you got Kounde, young lad. He's kind of got bad hair, so he needs to line. He needs to go to Reece James's barber because that hairline ain't great, man.
I can help him.
But brother, you're gonna have to. But no, great player, right? Great player. So now we're going to have to replace the third one, Aspie, who's a sub. And Tuchel made some interesting comments about that just recently today. But if we get Kimpembe or Josko Vardiol, then, buddy, anybody that was concerned about this defense, and that includes pundits that are rooting against us, well, they're going to have to kick rocks because if we get that third one, our defense is astronomically better than it was before. And don't forget, the crown jewel is still Thiago motherfucking Silva, who is the best defender I've ever seen.
Language because of the channel settings.
Say again?
No, language because of the
sorry.
No worries, you didn't know.
I didn't know. Because of Thiago Silva, also is probably the best player on the team. Apologize for the language. So now you got Kounde, Thiago Silva, and
Carlito.
Hold on, and Koulibaly, and then you got maybe Kimpembe coming in or Josko Vardiol coming in as a sub. That's the best back three in the world. And if it isn't, then call me a liar.
Yeah, let me bring you up to par. Let me just help you come to where we are. Mm-hmm. Now we're talking about this Jules Kounde, conundrum, if you want to phrase it that way. Where we are with everything, and look at this concern from Moscow Mary. He says, Barcelona are still in the race for Kounde as of today. Nothing is finalized with Chelsea. However, Chelsea looks at the likely destination. I think this is the better way to phrase it. He hasn't put pen to paper yet, and there's no official statement from the club. And we've been there before. An example what we always use here on Chelsea Perspective is the William case, where he already had a medical at Tottenham and ended up at Chelsea. John Michaelovic took pictures with Sagasset and everything. He ended up at Chelsea Football Club. Do you think this one is over the line, or do you think there's still a chance? Because technically there's still a chance, but what do you think?
So the other thing and this is a more recent thing that everybody is very nervous about, and that is the Rafinha thing. Now, let's be very clear about.
Thank you for bringing that back, because that's the reason why everyone is concerned.
Perspective. You have to understand why this is way different. Rafinha was Barcelona since February. This was he was their guy since February, right? Mm-hmm. They were chatting with him. This was a done deal, dude. Yep. Deco, his agent, took a pre-agent fee when they signed that pre-contract agreement in February. This was always going to be Rafinha to Barcelona. We were the ones trying to steal this shit last minute, at the 11th hour, like a thief in the night. We were the ones trying to hijack, not Barcelona. Barcelona had this deal closed for a long time, man. And so us thinking that, we lost this to Barcelona. No, we didn't. We were the ones trying to steal it. He always was going to go to Barcelona. We tried to snag it.
We're actually the hijackers there.
Of course we were, because we had no links to him until a couple weeks ago. No real links. That was nonsense. So with this Kounde thing, you have to understand, we've been trying to do this for 2 years. 2 years, right? And we have the money, and we offered him. Now, net versus gross salary is an interesting thing, because people say it's 6 million, people say it's 12 million. No. When we're dealing with Spain and when we're dealing with England, we're talking about net salary. So we are offering him a net salary of about 11 million. Barcelona could barely do half that, and they couldn't match what we're doing for Sevilla with the actual price, including the amount we're going to pay up front, which is probably about 90% of the total fee. So, no, Barcelona never stood a chance. What Barcelona was banking on was nostalgia and posterity. All right, they wanted Kounde to think, "Oh man, how great would it be to play with Xavi?"
Do you believe that Monchi wanted a bidding war?
No, I don't think so. No, I think he wanted the money.
You don't think so?
No, because this is the biggest deal he's ever made.
What about you? What about you, coach?
I don't think so either. I don't think so, because they knew it was never going to happen. Barcelona weren't ready to do that.
No, they couldn't do it.
No, they couldn't. They wanted, and that is to get things as cheap, and an installment structure that takes them like a zillion years to pay off any of those signings. So I don't think they'd be able to measure us in terms of outbidding. Even if they're willing to pay more, they will not be able to pay as much as we can pay upfront. But that's by the way. I'm going to start with Ty with the next questions, and later on we'll look at things we have lined up from Twitter out there. Again, I want to say thank you for 118 people watching, and we have
big shout.
Yeah, thank you guys. We have 39 likes. Again, let's shoot for 300 likes by the end of the show. And I sincerely do believe we can do that. So if you haven't, please keep liking the video and help us reach more people. Let me see what I have that I can address in the chat quickly. Here, did I highlight anything? Here he says, again, we'll come back to this later on because it's something I do want us to talk about. Rafael Leon, I think I've read this one. It's Kami. This is just responses. Let me just start. I'll be looking in. I'll be highlighting any questions that I think we should address. Ty, let me start with you. Now, the truth is, as much as I don't see it as a problem, Kounde, that is his imminent arrival to Chelsea, I don't see it as a problem necessarily for Trevor Chalobah. At the same time, I sense it could be a problem. Why? Because of the way Thomas Tuchel operates. The way Thomas Tuchel operates in certain positions.
Hang on. PYS just tweeted Barcelona in backing for Kounde. Huh?
No, I'm sorry.
Get the fuck out of here. What's PYS on?
Okay, language, please. Language, and we'll check. Share the link.
He checked me too, man. We got to watch the language.
Yeah. So, Ty, the question is, there's a chance that won't be a problem. There's also a chance it's a problem because of how Thomas Tuchel operates. And why do I say that? Thomas Tuchel usually, he has preferred players in most positions. And if that happens the case in that right center back position, that is when we'll play 3 at the back system. And then I doubt if Chalobah will get much game time. It won't be a matter of rotation. He'll be out of the team until Kounde, breaks two of his legs are cut off or broken. That's where I see it's a problem now.
By the way, Mr. Perspective, you are right. You are right. You want me to answer the question? You are right.
Let me start with Ty. I'll come to you.
Okay. But I want you to know
ahead,
my initial thing.
Okay. I get what you're saying, and it's something that I 100% agree with because we've seen that is the case. I mean, I know I'm going to use this example. I think some people are going to say that you don't do this, but I'm going to use it. For example, you have the likes of Mendy and Kepa. I know some people say that you don't usually rotate your goalkeeper that much, but during the period where Mendy was struggling, to really have these good performances, he was making mistakes after mistakes. It was a case where, Tuchel was looking at it. This is just an assumption, though, that, he's our first choice goalkeeper. He's making mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. We'll just continue to play him to keep his confidence up by not dropping him. No, I know it's different, but the example that he uses that if Kounde breaks his foot, this is if he comes. But at the end of the day, with all of this, it's a case where I can agree with you because we've seen that in the past that even though I don't know the specific situation per se, I know that it's happened more than once, but it's been a case where if a player is not injured or if they're not physically able to be on the pitch, no other has a chance. Nobody else has a chance. And I've even said this, and I know this is going to be controversial. We have played players out of position just so that we can play another player. And those are the things that Tuchel does. When Tuchel has his first choice, I can even use Ziyech as well. Ziyech performs good in games, and the next game he's dropped because it was just to rotate. We don't play him on merit. He just plays whenever it's possible and whenever players are tired or fatigued. In that case, that is why I can agree that, especially with the fact that you don't really rotate defenders like that unless there's something really wrong with them like fatigue. I do feel as if this is a case where Chalobah could be on the sidelines or on the bench because of the fact that if Kounde comes and he does well, that is going to be that, I can't drop him because he's made himself so good to our team. I have to play him. And that is a case that could quite easily pop up. Rudiger, for example, when Zuma was at the club, Zuma was more of a rotational player. He was only playing games when Rudiger needed the rest, or in some cases, Rudiger and Zuma will be playing when Silva needs a rest. So it's a case where if this happens, you're playing. So if it doesn't happen, you're not playing. So I do have that concern for Chalobah, but at the same time, you can't know what's going to happen in the season. It's a World Cup year. He plays for France. So I mean, at the same time, there's games that obviously we have to give him time to adjust, because Chalobah, if I'm not mistaken, is not going to represent England. So I don't think that he's going to. I think he's going to be able to go to training still and do things, and maybe he'll be more ready, for that. And plus, we don't know how far France will go in the World Cup as well. So you never know. So it depends. So I think in that sense, I mean, if Kounde comes, it's going to be an issue. But at the same time, I mean, if Chalobah made it clear that he's ready to fight and he's willing to fight. So he has the right attitude, and I think he probably made it work.
Again, Kalito, I'm gonna let you handle this one last. DJ, your thoughts?
No. I'll go last. No worries, man. No worries.
Okay, yeah. DJ, your thoughts? How do we? Because if he comes, he creates a problem. That's for certain. One way to handle that problem is rotation. But I don't think Tuchel, he rotates that much in certain positions. If he prefers a player, it's difficult. He hardly, drops that player. Mason Mount is a very good example. He used them until it was clear that he was mentally tired. His decision making, suffered. That was when he decided he realized he needed a break.
Yeah, listen,
I want to get your thought. What happens to Chalobah?
Yeah, look, like Ty's just said, I've got concerns in that way as well. Look, we know it's a rotation game, and look, not every player can play every match as well. But we've seen with Thomas Tuchel though, in some of his decisions he makes, he doesn't always like to rotate certain players. And I've got a feeling if Kounde's going to be coming to Chelsea, he's going to be coming to Chelsea as a first team. I can't see him not coming in and saying, okay, I'll sit on the bench. Yeah, I mean, even if he does need a rest, because, for me, you can't mentally, for a player, you can't start every game. If you think about the competitions we're going to be going in this season, we've got the FA Cup, the Champions League, Premiership, all the competitions, yeah? So you would think you would have time to rest players and put players in. So for me, look, my concern would be, Chalobah may get less game time, but we all know what we all know what professional Chalobah is. I mean, he was up against it last season as well with competition on his with competition for him. So again, he'll have extra competition with Kounde. But I just hope that Thomas Tuchel will actually give everybody a chance. But if he really likes Kounde and really wants him, then you can just see Kounde starting every match.
It's a difficult one. Deals your thoughts before Kalita comes in.
I know. You need to check PYS's tweet.
Yeah, I've seen it. It's nothing serious, and I think he's just saying
he's an
referring
idiot.
to a tweet he saw. But go ahead.
He's an idiot. But yeah, I think.
Thank you, by the way. Don't pay that fucking tweet any. Sorry, don't pay that tweet any mind. Don't pay it any mind.
Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, Dills.
I feel that Kounde will be good enough to be a starter all the time here and there, and I feel that Chalobah, Colwell will obviously get games like TY said. Was it you, DJ, when you said about the FA Cup games and stuff?
Yeah, I did say that, bro.
Yeah, I feel that the FA Cup games and the Carabao Cup games, like DJ just said, they will get their time in them sort of games. And remember, World Cup games are coming as well. 5 subs in this season as well. So, yeah, I feel that obviously the amount of defenders that I think that we need, but going into this season is 7 or 6. That's what I think. That's a good range of defenders that we need this season.
Yeah, right. Kalita, can you talk about the what happens to Chalobah? How does Tuchel handle it to keep both players happy?
I can, but I have to ask you and Ty, and I'll ask you individually. for you, Mr. Perspective, someone I love, someone I truly respect, and I think is very funny, very keen on Twitter. Do you respect Trevor Chalobah?
I respect him.
Do you trust him?
I do trust him, although his emergence was by accident. I trust him that much that during preseason, when we're still talking about going for Jules Kounde, when we first started talking about it, I did a video with Tehran. I was asking him, do we really have the need for Jules Kounde? You get my point now? Because I do. am for having two players of equal measure in terms of ability, and all we need is who is in a better form.
So the problem is that I do respect Trevor Chalobah. I do. But they aren't two players in equal measure. They aren't. So Ty,
they differ in one way or the other. But my point in terms of equal measure is in terms of having two starters, having two players who are capable of starting.
Right, but there's one that is but there's one that is. Well, let me go to Ty first before I actually do make my point. Ty, do you think that Trevor Chalobah is a trustworthy player?
Yeah, he is.
So would you include all of the high-profile mistakes that he made, Sadio Mane in particular, and it wasn't just one, it was two in the same game, and then actually it was three in the same game. So do you believe him to be a trustworthy player?
I can't judge him based on those two mistakes.
No. Let him speak.
No, I can't judge him because of those mistakes. Did you see Kounde's mistakes for France?
Can I respond, please?
Ty, please.
Ty, hold on, I'm coming. Go ahead, Khalid, I'm listening to you.
No. I asked Ty the question because I'm asking these questions.
Okay, you're asking Ty now, or you're still asking me?
Yes, yes. That's why I said Ty. So, sorry, guys. I didn't mean to make this bifurcated, but I am making it bifurcated. So now, Ty, do you trust Jules Kounde?
Jules Kounde?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Jeez. Now Mr. Respect is coming. I'll discombobulate it. No.
Go ahead, brother.
Okay, look. All right. Do you trust Trevor Chalobah?
I have some trust in him. Some trust. I'm not going to be dishonest. I do think that his mistakes are they can affect the game directly, and I'm not going to hold this against him. The preseason game. This is the third time that he's given away a penalty.
I don't care about the preseason game. I don't care about the preseason game.
I'm just using that as an example. It was an accidental handball. He tackled in two cases. I remember the game against Lille. He brought down the player, gave away a penalty. The next time against Norwich City, he gave away a penalty again, and they scored. So in that sense, there's mistakes in him. But I think this is why Jules Kounde coming in is good for him, because like DJ was saying, and what I was trying to say as well, is that he's a professional. So if he sees that Kounde is starting over him, he's gonna say that, okay, I need to prove to the manager on in training, and give him that feeling that, okay, I have two competent starters here, and I can only start one for the right centre back role. What should I do? And then he's gonna push himself, because he said that he's willing to fight, and that is the attitude that he wants. So I think in that sense, although I do think that is risky with him, because sometimes he's still young. So that is one of the reasons why it's going to happen. And even Kounde, he isn't perfect, because sometimes his ball distribution is a bit questionable as well. So he
makes mistakes too. They're both in the same age bracket. That mistake is common with both.
Let Ty finish.
That's the point I'm making. So either way, it depends on who is good on the day. So I think in that sense, Kounde makes mistakes, Chalobah makes mistakes. It's down to if Tuchel says that, okay, both of them are of a similar age. Chalobah is slightly older than Kounde. Let me see who's gonna be playing. This guy mistake in this game. The other one gave the ball away. Certain situations like this is where it comes to where the manager says that I trust you and I don't trust you, or probably not in that blunt way, but I prefer him for this game, and then maybe I'll see what happens with you in the next game. So I think in that sense, I don't have full trust in him like I would probably say I would have trust in Silva most games. But I will say that because he's so young, he's gonna still have these mistakes. Eventually, these mistakes will go down. But it won't go away all together. Mistakes are still gonna happen because Silva himself, he has made mistakes, giving the ball away and doing things like that. So I think in that sense, he's still learning, and I'm not going to be hard on him and say that because of this he doesn't deserve this or that. But I think I don't have that full trust in him that I can say that if he starts this game, I'm not going to be concerned that he may give away a penalty accidentally, and that's fine because nobody's perfect.
But this is what I asked you, and this is what I asked Perspective, but it's now my time. So here's my problem. Trevor Chalobah only got the job because of the goal he scored in that first game last season.
That is not true, though.
And
that's not true.
Hold on.
But go ahead, Ty, let him finish. Go ahead.
Hold on. This is also the reason why we did not pursue Jules Kounde more so than we did last summer. Because we had a deal. Hold on. Let me finish because I have a point. We had a deal with Sevilla last summer. Okay? It was for around 55. And they gave us a deadline. And we said, okay, all right, we get it. Because the deadline is September 1, is that the actual deadline for, transfers. And I said, all right, so we're going to do this. We reassess some things. Tuchel saw something in Trevor Chalobah. And then we said, okay, so we're going to pay it. And Sevilla said, no, we're going to move the goalpost. We're now going to make it, I think it was 70 or 75, right? And then Trevor had a really good preseason and then had a really good first couple of games. And we decided to not placate Sevilla moving the goalposts against us, which they did because they changed the deal on a deal that we have already agreed upon. They changed the deal, okay? They made it higher than the deal that the player agreed upon, that we agreed upon, and Sevilla agreed upon. But we saw Trevor Chalobah do some good things, including that goal, and we said, all right, fuck it. Sorry, screw it. Sorry, cancel that. Screw it. We'll wait a year, and we'll see what happens. That is actually what happened. But now we're going to come back to Jules Kounde, who is definitely happening, so don't worry about what PYS is saying, because PYS, guys, if you really are hanging on these fake YouTube journalists that are not really journalists, then you guys are insane. Stop doing that, because they don't know anything. They just want to know anything. They don't. They're doing this thing for money. Look, the deal is that Tuchel really now wants Kounde because Trevor Chalobah is not to be trusted as a starter. And that's okay. That is okay, because guess what? He is an academy player that got to the first team and now is still going to probably get 15 to 20 starts this season. So it's all good, man. I don't think there's a problem here at all.
Okay, if you think so, I'm not going to argue against that.
Can I reply quickly?
Yeah.
Yeah, please.
Okay. First of all, respectfully, that is quite wrong in a sense, because even after he did good against Crystal Palace, we were still trying to get him loaned out. Even before that, not Sevilla.
No, that secured him staying.
Even after that, we were still trying to get him.
It's not true.
No, let me finish. The point is, we were still trying to get him loaned out. The name that was being thrown around, I think the team was Valencia. They wanted him. They wanted to use him as a CDM. He did not want that. He ended up staying because no one else wanted him as a centre back, but as a CDM.
Respectfully, I will disagree, but go on.
Yeah. The next thing is a point that you made. I can agree and disagree with. I don't think Tuchel has full trust in Chalobah. I can slightly agree with what we made.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it.
I do not think he has. I do not think he has full trust in Chalobah at all.
The reason is,
By the way, hold on. Did you think I said he has full trust?
Can I please finish?
No. Because I'm responding to your point. Did you think?
No, but I waited until you were done before I replied.
No, did you think I said that Tuchel
be
had full?
consistent, Carlito?
No,
give the opportunity.
This is about your point, dude. This is about your point.
Let's go one by one.
No, this is about your point. I never said Tuchel had full
what's the
trust.
point? What are you trying to say, Carlito?
What I said was Tuchel never had full trust in Chalobah, so I'm agreeing with him. I want to make sure that I'm being heard right. I never said that Tuchel had full trust in Chalobah because he didn't. That's what I'm saying. So please continue. I want to make sure. Okay, I'm sorry. I am very sorry for interrupting. I'm very sorry.
You don't need to apologize. What I'm trying to say is that I can agree with and that's what I said. I said I can agree with you that Tuchel does not have full trust in him.
Okay,
and
sorry. I misheard. My bad.
Yeah, and the thing is, in that sense, what I can use is the fact that he was over the team for so long, even when we were making these mistakes that can be easily avoided, and we could say that, okay, this centre back is making a mistake. Let's see what Chalobah can do. And then we're hearing that it was that Chalobah was brought aside, and Tuchel spoke to him privately and said that, okay, he did like something that he did. He wanted to work on it. And then after that, he was introduced back to the team. I think a lot of people were surprised because leading up to that time, no, I don't really think nobody was really probably would have thought that what did he do? Unless he was talking about the mistake against Lille, where he gave away the penalty, I don't think there was any other reason really. So what I'm trying to say is that I don't really think that we didn't go after Kounde because that's not true. We were still doing it. Don't forget that Zuma was practically out of the team. He did not want, and we included him in a swap deal. We were trying to do a swap deal. Sevilla accepted it, but Zuma did not want to leave the Premier League. That was after the Crystal Palace game because Zuma did not play that game at all. He was not even on the bench. I remember that. And that was the exact same game that Tammy Abraham left because he had his thing and then he went to Roma. So I remember exactly what happened. So it's not that we didn't go after Kounde because of it. The fact of the matter is, yes, we hesitated, but it wasn't because we had Chalobah. Chalobah did good, and maybe they did, but we still did persist with it. Marina did try it, but at the same time, what she was trying to do was try to get on a cheaper note, where make it cheaper, try to see.
That's where I disagree. No, they changed the price tag.
No, and I was going to get to that.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, I was going to get to that because I remember they gave us a deadline, like they gave us a deadline this summer, July 5. We did not meet it. No, we're going to have to pay more. The thing is, the reason why all of that happened was because he was trying to do it on a cheaper note. And even when it was cheaper, and then ironically, they improved the bid. They made the bid have to be higher. We did not accept that. Boom, and that continued until August 28th, leading up to deadline day. That is something that happened. So I'm not saying that Chalobah was the reason why we didn't go for Kounde, because we were still persisting. We're trying. Because at that time we only had realistically two right centre back with Aspi, who was getting older, and we were going to lose Zuma because Zuma wanted to leave. He then ended up going to West Ham. So because he went to West Ham, we needed to replace somebody in that slot. And we paid the price for it, even though people say that the reason why we had to get we were missing a centre back, and why Prince had to overpay was because Christensen had his issues where he stepped over the team. But at that time, if we had Kounde in the team, we would be able to rest somebody like a Silva or a Rudiger, because we would have players who can play on that side as well.
All right.
The ability. So I
got you.
We didn't go for him because of Chalobah, because that's not true. We're still persisting with that. We're trying to get Chalobah to down lower.
I'm just simply going to have to disagree with you. I think that Chalobah's performances. Hold on, Chalobah's performances made us not want to accept the disrespect that Sevilla showed against us, which was they changed the offer. All right. And we said, all right, fine. Chalobah's good. He's not great, but he's good. And we can deal for another year. We'll buy Kounde in a year. And guess what? We just did. So I'm fine with what's transpired, because now Lukaku is gone and Rudiger is gone and Aspi is gone. Alonso's about to be gone. And I am very pleased with the fact that Raheem Sterling, who's brilliant, and all these other players we brought in, Koulibaly, great. Kounde, great. Soon to be Kimpembe, great. I don't see any problem with any of this other than I know that Chalobah is going to be a sub. And he's going to be a sub because guess what? He's not better than Jules Kounde. And that is the end game of this conversation. Jules Kounde is better.
Can I add something to that, though? You're telling me that Kounde, you don't think Kounde is going to have an adjustment period or is going to need one?
No, I don't, because he's a footballer. He's not just a defender. He's a footballer. Outside defense, dude.
Okay, so I'm going to bring up this fact. Although they play.
No, by the way, I played this position. I did.
Okay.
And I know that outside defender and outside wingback, those are the easiest positions on the field. So the adjustment period, get the fuck out of here. It's so easy. Come on, man. If a footballer is that good, he'll be fine. I'm not concerned.
So you're telling me that the moments where you had. That is not true, you can't use that in all cases.
Let's move on from that topic, Ty. Let's move on from that topic, please. I'd really appreciate it if we can mind the languages because the setting.
Sorry.
No, I understand. It's something you're used to. Some people are like that, but so there are 74 people watching and we have 55 likes. Let's try and shoot for at least 100 likes by the end of the show.
Let's make it 100 people watching and 200 likes. Come on.
This is
a compelling story.
If you haven't, please take a second to like the video. And Choma Yusuf here says Chalobah is still learning. No need to be hard on him. I'm not hard on him. I'm just concerned that there's a chance. We see if Jules Kounde eventually comes to the club, that his availability will affect Trevor Chalobah's development because he will get less game time.
Mr. Perspective, let me ask you this question. Do you think Jules Kounde will start over Trevor Chalobah?
That's a possibility that happens. There's no way to tell until he comes. If he comes, we'll see what happens. But my concern is Tuchel, he's not really. I think generally he rotates, but there are certain players he prefers to have on the pitch all the time. And as long as they're able to play, he doesn't rotate them. Until they get they're tired, they get injured, or they become mentally exhausted. Go ahead.
It's only understandable or fair, or in that case, it's fine to do when they're not fatigued. We've played players when they've played 5 games in a row, when they played 120 minutes, and somebody's body, although it's their job and that's what they do for a living, or possibly most of the time. They need resting periods. Even if it's for 30 minutes, they need resting period. And yes, when the game is over, they have hours in between. But when you have to physically do things, move your body, run back and forth, and play so high, come back, make passes, use your feet to move, to do abnormal movements. Your body needs time to adjust to working again. And continuously playing players after they played 120 minutes in a row, it's not healthy. It's not healthy for anybody, no matter how old they are, because your bones can quite easily ease up and you can get cramps and all type of things. But we've played players out of position as well for the sole reason now, because of that and because of the outbreak that we had. Even Tuchel caught the virus himself. So this situation's that way. But I can't agree with the fact that it's understandable when you have players fatigue, and that's why I'm concerned, because if Kounde comes in and proves his worth or proves that he's actually good enough to be playing game after game whenever it's possible to, and not being overplayed, Chalobah is not going to get a chance, and that's fine. People say that's fine because he needs to fight and he needs to compete, because last season he didn't really have that competition.
No, my concern goes beyond him fighting.
I think he's gonna fight, so that's not an issue. He's gonna fight because that's the player he is, and he has a story for why he will be fighting, because something personal for him. He wants to make it at Chelsea, so he's gonna do everything that needs to be done to make that dream come true. So he's gonna fight. But the thing is, even though he's working hard, we're not gonna see the full training unless you work inside the club, because the videos that you see, the 10-minute, 15-minute videos, trainings go on for 2 hours or more. You're not going to see the entire training. You won't see a mistake because all the media do for PR reasons is show them good moments or probably when a player scores a goal. That's it. So you're not going to see everything. So if Chalobah has a good training session, and although I will say that training session doesn't tell the full story because you can do good in training and then
You was talking about TY. You was talking about how training sessions it means better that every player that must be looking good in training to be a better player. That's what you said.
What did you say?
That's what you said.
What did you say? I said.
You said that every player, that plays good in training has a good chance of starting in
Can I dispel this rumor because I actually know what the
When did I say that?
Can I dispel this rumor?
All right, let's get together here. I think we're everywhere. Can
Hold on.
We can move on.
No, because this is a coaching thing. Okay, let me be very clear to everybody here. I've coached for 12 years. I know what I'm doing, and I've coached at high levels. I've asked to scout for professional fucking players. Okay, sorry. Language. Sorry, language. I actually know what this is like. And no, it does not matter actually often how you train because the coach is still going to play the players that he trusts. Even if a player has a bad training session and the guy that's competing against him has a really good, maybe 2 or 3 training sessions. It actually really doesn't matter because it's only about winning. Sorry.
No problem. Yeah, so here's the thing. I think we should move on from that one. And I'm going to start with you with this one. And DJ, you haven't spoken for a while. What we're hearing about Thomas Tuchel and Timo Werner, and apparently there's a response from Timo Werner himself, but this says Thomas Tuchel is not the biggest fan of Timo Werner. The player could depart this summer. However, a financial decision will take time. A tendency he will leave. We've heard that from 1,000 years ago. It still hasn't happened. And it's looking likely that there's a chance it will not happen because we haven't heard of serious interest from any club. What we've heard before is Juve. I'm not sure that's even the truth. The rumors were that we were trying to offer him a plus cash to get the lead. Bayern aren't serious. We haven't heard anything serious from Bayern or anybody. What do you think about the back and because it's become back and forth right now?
Yeah, Timo Werner. Listen, this guy. I mean, look, I think everyone knows on here. Well, I know for a fact that Ty and you both know I've been an advocate for Timo Werner for a long time, ever since he joined us.
Yeah, at one point you were his lawyer.
I was.
Boy, Mr. Perspective, Hey, Mr. Perspective. Sometimes it's cool to just mess around a little bit, baby.
Listen. What he says is true though, Khalid. I was a massive advocate for Timo Werner when he came over.
Me too.
I just said he needed to be given time. He needs to be given a season to settle in period and do what he needs to do the next season. However, it still hasn't worked out the same way for him this season, or seasons just has gone. So the question you have to ask is, what do we do with Mr. Werner? Because it seems like he's going on, he's doing exactly what Lukaku did weeks back, obviously some time ago, when he made that video before he left. Well, we all know how that left a sour taste. A lot of sour taste and a lot of Chelsea fans' mouths, I think, over that one. This time he's coming out and talking, saying he can do well in Germany. If he goes and plays anywhere else, he can do well. You're playing for Chelsea, mate. They're paying your wages every month, whatever it is, every week. So come and show what you can do. I mean, the manager clearly does believe in you, despite Thomas Tuchel hitting back at him and saying you should be the most happiest player in the world. You just signed, you've got a contract at Chelsea. You should be the most happiest player to have that contract. Show what you can do. Don't go on there moaning to other people saying you're great at this, you're good at this. And show it to us Chelsea fans and show it to the rest of the team, because we could really do with him, especially now with Lukaku gone from the team. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen with Brozier. I hope Brozier stays, but I think he might end up going out on loan.
I think he will stay. There's something.
I hope he does.
That Kalito shared that I'll bring up.
Brilliant!
That I'll bring up. Go ahead.
No, that's good news. That's good news if he stays, because I want him to actually stay and give some competition up there.
Sorry, hell yeah, dude. Brozier's good, man.
No, he
Rose
is, and I think I think what it is with some of the, I'm not saying you guys here, but there are some of Chelsea fan base out there that just don't seem to believe in our academy graduate players. And
let me ask you a question. That
yeah,
picture, with you is
yeah,
who are you with there?
that's my missus. That's my mother half.
So that's you and your missus. Great. So how happy are you in that picture?
I'm very happy, mate. We're in my home
Right,
country, Portugal, bro.
I love to hear that. This is what Tuchel is talking about, because right now he's not talking about Timo's relationship with his missus. He's talking about Timo's relationship with his club. And Tuchel had a chance. He had a knee injury, same as Julian Nagelsmann. They literally mirror each other in their careers.
Yeah.
Tuchel had a knee injury as a player, right? I could not imagine what he would think right now if someone were to ask him, hey, man, do you love being at Chelsea? If he were a player and he was contracted at Chelsea and he was making £270,000 a week, Tuchel would say what she just said the other day. I would be extremely happy. Just the same as you in that picture right now, right? Because my relationship with this club would basically probably even transcend that relationship that you have, even though I'm just kidding. It's just money. But what the reality is is that Tuchel is challenging Timo Werner, but we're not letting him go. I'm sorry. That would be losing too many players.
No. I'm not
doing it.
I'm not saying to let him go, Khalid. I'm not saying to let him go.
No, but what I know, what the narrative of the media is trying to push is that Timo's pushing. No, I'm sorry. We're not going to allow that.
No, and I hope we don't, because I still think there's still a player in Timo Werner, and I do.
Right, and I also still feel like there's a relationship between this club and this player there, because a lot of fans still like him because the guy, he's not a dick. He's a good dude. Like, this is a jovial
Oh my
guy.
Carlito,
oh my God, Carlito, man, seriously, bro.
Come on, he's a nice guy.
Carlito, let me say this so we can hear it already, because of languages. This
that's not bad language. That's not bad language.
No, that's already a yellow mark on this particular stream due to language.
Oh, mate. Listen,
that's an American thing. Sorry.
I understand, but DJ, go ahead. You were saying something.
Listen, I still hope he can still do something this season for us. I still believe there is a player there.
Too.
I believe there's a player in there, and I think next season you'll see it again. But look, if he has another bad season and then he moans after that, then really and truly we have to then look at the situation.
2024, you'll be saying the same thing too. Go ahead.
No, brother. I hope by that time he probably will end up being sold, mate. If that is the case, but let's see what happens. Oh,
Perspective is killing Timo right now. He's killing Timo.
No, I like him, but I understand.
No, you don't.
There are factors. That define the Premier League that makes it virtually impossible for him to replicate his form at Leipzig, whether you like it or not.
No.
Explain that. It's never going to happen.
Explain that, Mr. Perspective. You're going to have to explain that. You mean?
Listen, a lot of teams in the Premier League, they defend deep. You can only guarantee from about 6 teams now, or 8 right now, because Newcastle has they've joined that list. They have the money, they have good enough players that starting to believe they can beat any team. So Timo operates with space.
Okay.
Without space, Timo is virtually useless in any game. Even when it's one-on-one with opposition defense, he 80% of the times will practically say to the opposition, please take the ball and leave me alone. What he does at his best is running behind defenders. You put the ball for him. He uses the space, and then that's it. Beating his man one-on-one hardly happens nearly all the time. He's not capable of, facilitating that, and majority of the times he's one-on-one. And once teams defend deep, he can't do anything with the ball. And again, he does better as a second striker, which Thomas Tuchel hasn't shown that he'll be doing that.
Real Madrid game?
No. Thomas Tuchel hasn't shown that he will be doing that more often. He's done it on occasions. And if you look at games that Timo did very, very well for us,
Real Madrid.
Against teams that don't defend that deep.
You mean against better teams?
Yeah, so those factors, again, he's a good player. But I think in the Premier League, he will continue to struggle. There's no chance he has that a stretch of period, a long stretch of time that you say he throughout the whole season or for 6 months he was in brilliant form. You will only continue to see flashes of brilliance here and there. And because already now it's become, you could argue it's become a psychological thing. It's now in his head that it's never going to work for him in the Premier League. And that's probably why he's looking to leave. If he
Mr. Perspective, if you are saying that he needs to leave, and
not
Ty,
because he's a bad player.
Hold on. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you and Ty need to give me a replacement. Because if you do not, then what you're doing is complaining for the sake of complaining, and I am not interested in that because that's not smart commentary.
No, this is not me complaining. I'm being objective.
No. I'm asking for your alternative. No, I'm not. Whoa.
Let me make a point clear. Let me make a point clear. There's no chance he leaves except if the club is sure of getting in a replacement.
Right, but what I'm saying is that you have to give me an alternative if you are going to complain about the reality of the current situation. You have to.
I'm not complaining. I'm just saying. I'm just looking at this situation objectively.
That's not objectively because you're a Chelsea fan. It's impossible to be objective.
Then I'm doing what? No, that's not how I operate. Maybe you don't know me well.
Come on, buddy. We love it too much. Don't tell me you don't.
I understand. I love you guys, everyone too, and I love you too. Bro. Again, the passion you bring whenever you're on the panel, except for the language, I have to be honest.
I will slow down on that. I will. But no. What I'm asking is very simple. Is that I get the criticism. I really do about Timo Werner.
I'm not critiquing the player. It's not his fault.
No. Here's the thing. I have to have an alternative in order for us to sell him because we can't.
We're saying the same thing. I already told you. There's no chance.
But we can't. We can't sell him.
That's just that. Except if we bring in a replacement, or we're sure a replacement is coming in.
Now, here's the deal.
Even Ziyech, the same thing.
Now there's a deal to be had with Milan with Rafa Leao. Now, if you haven't seen Rafa Leao, he's actually crazy raw, but there's a lot to his game, like truly powerful stuff. But that is something that needs to be considered. But until we consider it, we're kind of stuck.
All right, just give me 1 minute. Let me catch up with the chart because we'll always keep it inclusive here. The fans are part of the whole thing. And here we have Liam Lane. He says, call it a night. Talk tomorrow on the Blue Morning Show. Yes, brother. See
all right, Liam's good. Liam's good dude, by the way. Liam's good dude.
He is. And he's become a brother. And also, Chris CMC says lots of passion for the Chelsea here. I cannot wait until the season and having games to talk about. I think that starts very soon in 3 weeks or so. It'll be a lot of fun because we have pre-game shows. We analyze where we get to analyze the lineup 1 hour before kickoff. It stops usually 10 minutes before kickoff. It's usually fun where we fight each other regarding Thomas Tuchel's selection. Not really fight, a debate. Choma Yosef says, what are you guys talking about? I get it. What about the offside goals? You could say he's been unlucky too. But even if you count those goals, you still see, I'm looking at things from, is it suitable for the Premier League? Again, I would say, no, he will still struggle. He's never going to have a whole season where you say he's been brilliant. But again, to be kind to him, to be fair to him, if you look at the numbers, his Chelsea career you can say, well, what he's done with Chelsea so far, he's done quite well in terms of the numbers. He was pivotal to our wins towards during our run to the Champions League final. He created a lot of chances. I think under Frank Lampard or 2 years ago, he was, in terms of goal contributions, he had the highest number. I have to be honest with him. I have to be fair to him, but I'm just saying there are factors that define the Premier League. Again, about half of the teams defend deep, and that's why he struggles. He only does well when he finds spaces. But I really do want us to move on from Timo Werner because DJ has talked about him. Ty hasn't talked about him. Who else? I think Ty hasn't talked about what he thinks about Timo Werner's. You could say the relationship now it's gone down south, and I don't think it's mendable because they try not to, speak in a manner that you will get to understand that something serious is going between the two of them when they talk in public. But still, if you have brain, you'd be able to sense it that something isn't quite right between those two. Chama says again, what about offside goals? Like I've said, he's been quite unlucky too. I totally agree. Timo played really good with Germany against Italy. That's a player inside Timo. If you let him out, he will deliver. I don't think, maybe not under Thomas Tuchel. I don't see that happening under Thomas Tuchel. If it happens, I will take it. Werner's still needed. You could argue that, but you only see flashes of brilliance here and there. And again, it will never be sustainable, if you ask me, because he'll still meet teams where he's not going to see the space to run in behind opposition defenders or space, to just use the space, to run past everybody and down. Next thing you know, it will be but just him and the goalkeeper. Ryan Beck says Raheem Sterling is a great player.
By the way, brother, I'm Ryan Beck. I'm Ryan Beck.
Oh, is that you? Oh, okay. Whoa, thank you. You're just looking for a fight there. Werner needs another season to prove.
Hold on. Before we go on, I want to say this. Raheem Sterling is an incredible player, and he's 27 years old. And I think that Pep Guardiola made a mistake. I know he told Man City that after seeing all these things going around, all these players they were going to sign, they was like, oh man, I got a year left. Maybe I don't want to be here. But at the same time, Man City's getting Riyad Mahrez, who's a lesser player, 31 years old, a 3-year deal. I think that Pep is making a massive mistake here with Raheem Sterling.
Because I don't think it all comes down to what Pep wants. I think they're trying to manage their wage structure.
I also think that if Raheem and Pep had a nice sit down, and I think Raheem wanted to just leave.
If he wanted to stay, if they allowed him, he's already on 300K.
No. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's too good for that. He's such a good player.
Yeah, totally. Let me catch up again. I want to come to Ty to give me
my apologies. No, my whole thing is that I just feel like this is going to be one of the best players on Chelsea, and I think Manchester City is going to regret this.
I think they will, but maybe if Haaland delivers, it will look like it makes sense.
We'll
see.
I am not a Haaland
see what
fan,
happens.
so you seen him play? Because I have too. His touch, it stinks. All right, I gotta go, Mr. Perspective, but I loved having some time with you, man. You're the best.
Thank you very much, bro. I appreciate you finding time to join us again. Whenever time allows, I will reach out to see if you have time to join us. So thank you very much. I appreciate you joining.
Do you promise that I can be allowed back on?
Why not? Is this your first time?
No, it's my second, but
exactly. But maybe you need to do some practice on how not to
my language. I know. But here's the deal. Let me just say this. Koulibaly, let me tell you something, fellas. It's one of the best center backs in the world. Enjoy.
Yeah. That's no argument actually. But that's right. Well, let me catch up with the chat and I'll come to Ty. Kachula, I'm not a football analyst. I just enjoy watching, but you know the game quite well. To mention the handballs, the unfair offside calls against them. Those things didn't help. Didn't help him either. Didn't help Matters in terms of when you look at Timo Werner's situation at Chelsea. I think, Chris Dempsey says, I have to say, I am so hoping Timo succeeds. I really feel like there's some small thing that that has to click inside him. A bit of luck. Luck is important. Yep, I think that makes sense given the argument that Choma presented when we were talking about him. A bit of luck going his way, and my gut just says he could become a huge asset. Already, I wouldn't at any time look if he leaves today. I wouldn't at any time look at his numbers and say, he was a failure at Chelsea. No, because his numbers say otherwise. If you paid attention to him, it's just that we expected him to score 20, 25 goals per season, to be firing on all cylinders like he did at Leipzig. But I think we didn't play him. We didn't use him as he was used at Leipzig. Let alone the issue being that there are lots of teams that defend deep in the Premier League. We didn't do that. But that's, by the way, again, there's a chance he stays. If he stays, I'll still support him. But I really would like him to leave and go to some other place where the team will play to his strength, and we'll see the best of Timo Werner again. Our Phantom of Many Topics says the 60 second to hit the like button. Cuban Missile Crisis. You have to align the number to global event, but that shows you know history very well. But that's, by the way, again, if you haven't, go check out Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel. Great travel content. Sometimes he talks football, but I know you'd enjoy his travel content very well. The last travel was, I think, was to England. He has some good videos from the museums there, and you will like them. Here, Oni Abiodun says, Chelsea need to sign Cristiano Ronaldo or Victor Osimhen to boost our attack, but we should keep Werner because he's humble and the fans like him. It's hard to hate him, actually. But the truth is, as much as I like Osimhen as my fellow countryman, I wouldn't want him to come to Chelsea. Thomas Tuchel will frustrate the life out of him. Again, I am going to repeat myself. If you've been paying attention to Thomas Tuchel, even from Mainz to Borussia Dortmund to Paris Saint-Germain, he doesn't make the most of traditional attackers, which you could argue that is exactly what Victor Osimhen is. And I wouldn't want Cristiano Ronaldo to come to Chelsea because he will bring you more than just goals. There are other things that comes with him that I wouldn't want him to come with to the club that may well cause us problems. And I don't think I've heard DJ speak about that. I think I'm going to come to you in a bit after Ty speaks. Only, again, thank you for that input there. Kounde is okay. Now let's offer Broja plus 50 million and get Rice. I don't want Broja to go. And by the way, I'm going to come back to the update that Kalita shared. But before that, Ty, your thoughts on the Timo Werner and Thomas Tuchel relationship, where that is going?
Honestly, I think some people are late. People are very late to this. People are very late. There was indications for months that Werner was questioning his time in England. And I made a video about it months ago after he made a comment after a friendly against Israel. He said, this is exactly what he said. And I remember it because it still is in my head. I feel very comfortable here. And he pointed around him. And at that time, they were playing in Germany. I feel very comfortable here. And he said, I feel very good in Germany. So based on that, those are indications that, he was hinting towards the fact that I'm not going to really put words in his mouth and say he misses Germany. But I'm pretty sure he's going to look back and say, oh, I was getting these numbers. I was behind Lewandowski. I was the second highest goal scorer before I came to Chelsea in the Bundesliga. I'm not going to just forget that. So I think people reacting now and saying, oh, he's hinting that he wants to leave. I think they're late because he said that. He said that he feels comfortable here, and he was pointing around himself that he feels comfortable in Germany. So I think in that sense, it was whether or not it means that, and you were making this point as well, that there's an underlying issue that could make him, possibly not be able to succeed as much as he did in Germany or in the Bundesliga for the sole reason that not a lot of teams and even less teams have that high line. The only time you get that high line is if you pull out those defenders out of position, and or the midfield is non-existent, or the midfield is not good in terms of defending or protecting the defense that they are supposed to. That's going to be a case where he's going to struggle. And that is why, for me, I've always said that Werner is a good player. The reason why he's not doing good is because the league itself is not easy to adapt to when you're used to playing in a certain way. It's not impossible for him to adapt, but based on his game, and in order for him to even adjust to it per se, to really he has to change his entire playing style, and that's not something I think he wants to do, because what he does makes him so unique, makes him the best version of himself. So I think, although in some cases he does add a value to the team because he can get a couple of assists, he does make some key passes, and sometimes the person he passes the ball to doesn't score, but he does do things. He links up well with Havertz, obviously because they play for the same country, so obviously they have that connection. But in that sense, I think there is something there that really has like a setback there for him, because although Werner is a good player elsewhere, and I keep saying this, there's no way a player can go in from being that good to that bad. There has to be a reason. And for me, I think the league that he's in just doesn't suit him, because he doesn't have the strength or the attributes that helps him to do well. He doesn't have a consistent first touch. Sometimes he'll control the ball well and strike it. Sometimes the ball will touch his foot and then it goes out for a corner or something. That is down to him not really having those attributes. And even in the Bundesliga, that was not his job. He just gets the ball, he runs on the ball is passed with power ahead of him, he runs onto the ball and gets it. And that's how most of his goals came. So I think in that sense, Werner is a good player. I just think that, like you're saying, I think the best thing is that he goes back to Germany and finds a team that will play in a way that he can, feast, and he can score goals, or probably score some goals that he did before. I just don't think that is the same thing.
Here's what I'd like to see happen, actually. I'd like to see, Julian Nagelsmann is a current Bayern Munich coach, and it was under him, I think it'd be right to argue it was under him that the world saw what Timo Werner is capable of under Julian Nagelsmann at Leipzig. Now he's the Bayern Munich coach, and they said openly that we don't know how to use him. And now it's looking like they're not willing to extend Leroy Sané stay at Bayern. Maybe we should, try. If you don't buy lotteries, you're never gonna. If you don't buy tickets, you're never gonna win the lottery. Maybe we should try saying, okay, you can take Werner, give us Sané. You never know. I think Sané, he's done it in the Premier League. He wasn't bad for Manchester City. It was just that I think we heard that he had issues with Pep Guardiola, so he did ask to leave the club. But that's, by the way. Here, Chama asked, does Chelsea have a coach who can teach our frontliners how to score? Maybe I don't know. I am misreading what you mean by teach them how to score. I think how to score is not something you teach players, professional footballers. Maybe I think they do shooting drills, and you've seen videos of Chelsea players scoring a zillion goals during during training. And there are all the things also that it doesn't look like most people look at when they talk about the goal scoring issues we have at the club. Is this, and I've said this, but I'm going to keep saying it because it is in fact the truth. If you think it's not, you let me know. We defend as a unit, but the moment we get to the final third, everybody wants to be the hero. In most cases, everybody wants to eat. Every player wants to be the goal scorer. And that makes it, reduces the number of goals that the team scores, scores as a team. But once you have a team like Manchester City, where in the final third, even inside the 60-yard box, they're always looking for the best position teammates to pass the ball to. But in this case, in the case of Chelsea, I don't think we started playing like that. It remains to be seen. But that's, by the way, again, J-Town Boy says that the papers of Lukaku felt like a vote of no confidence to Timo and Thomas this game. I think you could argue that Tuchel should just use players in their best wings. That's another argument that most people don't take seriously, but I think we should take this seriously. Playing players in their preferred positions. If a player is a specialty player, you will never get the best out of that player, except if you play them in that position, that preferred position. That way, if you do that, you're giving them the independence to express themselves, to show what they're capable of doing. But there's usually some measure of dissent the moment you play a specialty player out of position. So I think that's a good comment right there. Werner deserves one more season to prove himself, and that will be the fourth season, right? And then next year we'll be talking about that again. What we fail to understand, the issues aren't all down to Timo Werner. If that was the case, you'd say give him another season. But I say let him go, let him succeed where to play for a manager or a club that plays in a manner that that accommodates his style of play. And then more important, in the league, he would do better. Let's not be selfish about it or try. It won't ever change. Werner is a secondary striker, not a leading target man, and not a wide man. Also, most people fail to understand that. And Chama says they need help, coach. They do need help, either by increasing the number of times they do the shooting drills, or getting them. You could say a psychologist. I don't know how to phrase it. Teams do that. Look what happened with the team in the US. They struggled to score, and I think that makes perfect sense. Before we move on to the next topic, DJ, I'm going to come to you and ask you this question. Are you, for us, going for Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, listen, I'm not gonna sit on this stream and say I don't want Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea, because it'll be a lie. Look, I know I know there were some comments earlier on saying that he brings obviously goals to the team, but he brings other issues to the rest of the dressing room. But I, for one, don't believe that. I think with Ronaldo, I think what we all got to remember with Ronaldo is he's a professional. He wants to be playing Champions League football every year. He's always been every year in that competition. He's competed with the likes of, for the Ballon d'Or. He's always in Ballon d'Ors to get the Ballon d'Ors every year, competing with the likes of Messi and Mbappe, Neymar, and players like that, Lewandowski. So he's way up there, wanting to compete, and no one can take that away from him. Even at the age of 37 now that he is, okay, the guy, or 36, whatever it is, the guy is still, the way the guy looks after himself, the guy is still an excellent player. And a bit of Cristiano Ronaldo at Chelsea, at least for 1 or 2 seasons, I would not complain. I understand that he's already, I think from what I know, he's taken a cut already in his wages. So I do believe, if he was to come to Chelsea or something like that, we could even get him on less money than what he's on already. I mean, I think the guy just wants to play football, and he wants to play Champions League football, and that's why he doesn't want to go back to Manchester United. And
let me ask you this.
Yeah, go for it.
He scored how many goals for Manchester United?
This season or this season?
Let me check it. Let me check it. He scored quite a lot of goals.
Yes, he was obviously.
But still, they did not make it to the Champions League. They struggled. And here's something else I want you to look at. Maybe take your time to look at it and consider it. Maybe you and I, maybe our argument to align, but I doubt it will, because I haven't seen anybody that say, I want Ronaldo. And by the time I'm done explaining this whole thing I'm explaining to you, they change their mind. That hasn't happened. Now, let's start from Real Madrid. The moment he left Real Madrid, he went to Juventus, and from Juventus, he came to Manchester United. At Juventus, the moment he arrived, Dybala's numbers started dropping. And you know what happened. The moment he arrived to United also, same thing happened. The numbers started dropping for attackers there, and his went up.
Okay.
Here's my argument. if Ronaldo comes to Chelsea, remember what happened when Lukaku arrived for his second Chelsea stint?
Yeah.
Whether by design, whether it happens subconsciously, I don't know. But whenever Lukaku was on the pitch, it just seemed as if the primary responsibilities of those on the flanks, the midfielders, and even the defenders was always to find him.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So Ronaldo now comes, who has even a better reputation at scoring goals. Believe me, I'm suspecting it will happen. Players will start always looking for him, even when there are better options on the pitch. And then again, you'd have to adjust the way you play to accommodate him. Why do I say that? Thomas Tuchel prefers attackers who can press very well. And with Ronaldo on the pitch, forget about pressing. Except maybe he has other plans on other positions he want to use him and not, as a striker or whatever. But again, you get my argument. Your thoughts on those things I talked about?
No. Listen, I get you. I can understand. I'm fair in your argument what you're saying, Kachilla, and I can understand. And I've just read one of the comments here saying we don't want. I think it's from Choma Joseph. Big up to you. He said no Cristiano Ronaldo. We don't want big egos, or was it? Yeah, well, any egos in the dressing room. Look, I get his point of view. But at the age that he's at now, to get him what we can get him on. All I'm saying is I for one don't think it will ever happen anyway. It's just the thought that the guys without a club at the his club is United, but at the moment he's training by himself in Portugal. He doesn't want to go back to United. He's made that perfectly clear. I don't think, I guess that doesn't look good. I guess in that kind of way when a player is refusing to go back to a football club, and he could, I can understand why a lot of Chelsea fans would say he could possibly do the same with us as well. But I just think with him, he's just a kind of player that I think could come in and I think there'll be a lot of players that would actually look up to him. And I don't think it'll be all about, I think if you think about the manager we've got, I don't think Thomas Tuchel would part with it anyway. I think Thomas Tuchel would want the team to play as a team. And I think they would play as a team. And, someone like a Ten Hag having a Ronaldo on board for the first season, I don't think he's the kind of guy that could handle an ego like his. I think he's the kind of guy that would just want to have the players in there, do what they need to do and get United to where United need to be. But he won't be able to handle someone like a Ronaldo. I just think Thomas Tuchel is slightly different. I put Thomas Tuchel in the ilk of managers such as a Pep Guardiola, a Jose Mourinho, and a Klopp. I do believe those kind of managers could handle an ego like Ronaldo. And if he was to come to someone like us, to Chelsea, I think he could make us better, even if it's a 1 or 2 seasons. And I do believe the other players will still play their games. Yes, they'll be looking for him because he'll probably be the main vocal person to find to score the goals. It's just that a lot of us have been complaining that Chelsea are not scoring enough goals. All right, we're not getting the goals that we should be getting. He'll come in there. He changes that. He changes our philosophy straight away because he'll get us the goals that we need. And we could well be up there challenging not just for the Premiership, but could also be challenging for the Champions League as well. That's my only thought of it. And obviously, I do rate him as a player as well. And people say you're being biased because you're Portuguese. It's not because of that reason. I've always rated Ronaldo, even when before he came to Manchester United, when he was playing for Sporting. Back in the days, I rated him as a player. And I just think he's a top-notch player. And if you can get someone like him in, even if it's a 1 or 2 seasons, I don't think it could be a bad thing. But there are other fans that obviously would disagree with me. There are probably some fans in there that would agree with me to have him. But I can't see, let's put it this way, Kachilla. If Ronaldo was to turn up at Chelsea, I cannot see the fans turning on him and saying, we don't want Ronaldo here. Yeah, because I, for one, think the fans will actually go crazy over him coming to Chelsea. And I think you'll see a lot of his shirt sales going crazy out the door in terms of sales-wise as well. So look, in that kind of way, yeah, I think a player like him could be ideal for us. But like I said, it will never happen.
Here's the thing: if he comes, I will support him again. But I get your argument. I know you have that is a strong backing for your argument. But most people just are not just looking beyond the name Cristiano Ronaldo. They just want Chelsea to sign Ronaldo without even considering how is he going to fit into the team. And all those things. Let me catch up with the chat. And this is a delicious comment here. Telling Shoma they do shoot in drills. Even Jorginho scored one yesterday. Again, I know when even Jorginho scored, they do well in training than even Jorginho scores in training. And Benzema was also in the shadow of Ronaldo. Yep, he became the player he is today the moment Ronaldo left. That's just the truth. And you say you're not a football analyst. It is too, maybe because we have a lot to talk about. Phantom just finished talking about Werner. Ronaldo going to Atletico Madrid. That's a surprising one. He's going to one of Madrid's biggest rivals, if that's the truth. Is he trying to show them, look at what you're missing? But that's, by the way, I'm going to come to you, Phantom. If you want to talk about Timo Werner, just go ahead. Talk about Timo Werner, and then you can talk about Ronaldo so we can move to the next topic we want to talk about.
Okay. Timo Werner is highly desired by the Dortmund fans. They want him. They want him either on loan or permanent or whatever. As soon as they heard Chelsea got Raheem Sterling, they said, great, we can have Werner now. Because they lost their striker. They don't have an obvious number 9. Werner can play. Werner plays in what he calls the number 11 position, which is kind of strange because it's kind of like not a number 9, but it's more off to the left. So he calls it the 11 spot. And I don't know if the rest of football calls it the 11 spot, but it's also where Pulisic plays. It's also where Callum Hudson-Odoi likes to play. Those are the natural spots for them. And I think Raheem Sterling is more flexible, right? He can play on the right, left, center.
I think he can play on both angles.
Right, but Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi both like to play in that Werner spot. So, and I think Werner is better on a counter-attacking team anyways. So that's that. As far as CR7, he's not going to work in Tuchel's system because Tuchel doesn't have, pass to the striker kind of mentality. He has it's a shell game of which one of my attackers is going to be the one, who scores. And the opponents are not supposed to know. It's not like it's always going to be passed to the number 9 striker. Like, for example, I'm just going to mention my other team right now. In Fulham, everybody passes to Mitrovic, and he scores 80% of the goals for the team. I mean, it's no surprise where the goals are coming from, right? But that's not the way Chelsea is set up because that's not the way Tuchel is set up. Tuchel likes to be more democratic, regarding where the goals are coming from, and that's not necessarily coming from his number 9. So that's all I have to say about that, sir.
Hey, let me show us the update I have, and thank you very much for finding time to join us. I hope you're doing well. We haven't spoken for a while. Again, if you haven't, please go check out a Phantom of Many Topics YouTube channel. You'll see a lot of travel videos, and I'm sure you're going to like them. I've always told him I'm going to take his camera because 4K quality videos out there that you're going to love. The last ones I watched was after his recent his travel to London. He were a lot of some good places, beautiful pictures too. I think you will enjoy it. And be sure to subscribe and let him know I sent you. I'll remember to do that during the Blue Morning Show so that you all can go check it out. And also, Tide Talks YouTube channel, be sure to go check it out. And also let him know I sent you. Again, here is James Ryan says Lukaku didn't work because he never pressed. At least Werner fits in the system. Right now I wouldn't say Werner fits in the system. Again, he's better off leaving the club, to go where things will work for him. This just made my day when I saw that. It made me happy. Yeah.
After this, there's some news on why Kounde is not confirmed yet. I want to share when you're done.
Okay. Yeah, after this, right? So no problem. It says West Ham's deal with Amanda Broya in Chelsea is off as of now. And I like that. I think I've seen where it's completely off. I've seen somebody describe it as completely off. And I believe that Tuchel clearly didn't want her to sell, and they delayed the deal enough. That's good. Now it's time to show Broya a pathway. Whether you think it's an easy pathway or not, Tuchel needs to prove to Broya why he should stay. I think one thing I give Tuchel is if he wants you, he gives you the opportunity, but you better take it. If he gives you the opportunity, and you don't take it, you will find it hard to find to get another opportunity. But that's, by the way, and here's Mar here saying, thank God. So it's Broya. We don't need another attacker. I don't think we should be going for another attacker. It wouldn't make sense. Give the guy the opportunity. After all, Tuchel don't play with attackers that many times. And I think the kid also pushed to leave, if in fact he did so, because he's probably fearing, what if you've been paying attention. Next time, if you're paying attention to how Thomas Tuchel operates, you'd learn that he doesn't use traditional number 9s that much. But that's, by the way, he says, DJ, it is not an opinion, it's knowledge of him. Also being reported, he had laid the law down. It's a figure of speech. Okay, I hope he did. So you guys, I know, please, I don't want to see you guys fight again. Says, I agree with James. Werner must stay. He's really a quality. He is. Next time, I would say you are incorrect, using 5 times the letter in restricted. Okay. This is hilarious, but that shows maturity between the two guys that were exchanging the knowledge, because, yeah, we'll all have, but it's okay to say that my bad, True Blue, but we will not always agree on anything. Yep. Again, the only person Tuchel wants in Chelsea are Kai and Mount. If he had his chance, he will sell all other players. And Delicate, were you not here when we talked about the issues, growing, the trouble brewing between Thomas Tuchel and Timo Werner? They're both speaking out publicly right now. Again, but that's, by the way. So, Ty, let me start with you. Talk about this. Some good development, I must say.
Yeah. This is some big merry-go-round. We're getting drama bit after drama after drama, and this right here is I mean, it seems as if it's something positive. The question is, how will Broha react? Because it's not like it's just reports that Kounde, not Kounde. What am I talking about? That West Ham were talking to him only. They agreed personal terms with him, which means that he was open to going there. He was willing to leave the club. So I don't know how he's going to react to this. But I mean, if he ends up staying, I hope that he's
a professional.
Yeah, if he's professional enough and not be sour. But I question his motives right now, because I don't know. It's his career. If he wants to leave and go elsewhere, that's his decision. But I mean, right now, there's nobody in his way to block him from playing games. So I really don't understand why he would want to leave. But I don't know. It's his career. But this seems positive, because we right now there's no certainty that we get a good striker in. And what I see in Broha is somebody that, or he does have a lot to learn. He's still young, so that's understandable. But there's what I see from the goals he scored, his movements, his instinct, the way he controls the ball, the things that he does, and the pressing that he does. It is very promising, at least in my eyes. So if he ends up staying, I hope that his willingness to leave the club probably deteriorates a bit, and he's open to staying. But it all comes down to if he stays, if he performs good, and proves to Tuchel that yes, I was right to want to keep him and not want to see him go to West Ham. But I really do. I'm not really confident with the way that we play, because I think Broha right now, he's more for a player that does better in a more counter-attacking team, a team that moves the ball quickly and everything. We don't do that. We work the ball into the box most of the time, and then maybe on a rare occasion you may see we make a pass outside the box and we take a shot. We work the ball into the box most of the time, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. But I'm not really confident in that regard. But I'm hoping that I'm wrong. But this is good.
I hope you're wrong too, because I'd like to see him make it at Chelsea. That changes the mindset of the academy players to be, and those who are already in the academy. If he makes it, I think it would be good for the club. Again, the reputation of the club overall, if you ask me. Moshe Sabeta says that the Kounde deal is really irritating. I am starting to give up on him. I don't like chasing. I enjoy being chased. Unless chasing you is worth it. Kounde is not the lead. Sorry. Yes, I get the argument there. I'm just glad
when you're done, I want to explain a major thing that I think some people are going to be unhappy about. Some people may understand, some people may be frustrated, some people just think it's foolishness. But this is one of the reasons why it's not happening. But when you're done, going to the chat.
I'm just glad that Tuchel is still using my dude Marcus Alonso for now. I think there's a chance he stays too. Macaria Jackson says, "Ooh, my Timo Werner is the real deal this coming season. Lukaku could never feed a Chelsea squad." Again, we'll see if Man United FC talk the young around and land Anthony, they become a top 4 threat. That's just the truth. But I'm hearing that they're no longer interested in signing De Jong. But it's hard to say. Courtney, bless up our family from Jamaica. Nice to see you, Courtney. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Please do let us know. Again, we have 69 people watching and we have 72 likes. We need just 28 likes more to get to 100 likes. So if you haven't, please do take a second to like the video and also subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Again, thank you for all the support. Keep liking the video and also do subscribe to the channel. Solomon Iceman, Iceman said Chelsea interested in Alain Maxima. That is one I really do not want, but I'm going to highlight this because I want us to talk about it. And Nathaniel Oposio says Kounde is making sure you all want him. He needs to know the coach wants him. So his behavior is worth and do not want to be another victim to Tuchel's antics. That may well be the case. Ty, do you want to come in? Because I wanted to bring DJ in to talk about this Amanda Proyer news.
I want to quickly explain it because I think some people need some peace of mind, or at least what I think is a peace of mind. Basically, this whole Kounde thing, this could go on for another week because of something that is not Chelsea's fault and it's not Sevilla's fault. Well, it kind of is, kind of not. And this is because there is what's the word to use? A courier company. I hope I pronounced the word right. Courier company that is delivering the report, the written report, or rather the written offer and everything. And there's something that's being sorted out with Sevilla. And I think somebody mentioned this earlier, that about transferring and something about some there's this tweet that Sevilla made about I don't remember what it said, but there was something regarding transfer, something about transfer policy. I think and this is an explanation of what's happening. There is a company that is responsible for the development or trying to change the development that Sevilla are trying to do, and it was supposed to be done from before July, but it has not been completed. So there's something that's happening. That they're trying to develop something in that regard, and something that is blocking it is the fact that this company has failed to finalize what they want to do in terms of the transferring policy, and that's why I think the Sevilla Accord said something about that. And the company is also the one that's responsible for transferring the written offer and every document and every legal binding situation to the club. So I think because of that, we're being prohibited from getting this thing finalized per se, because there's this setback due to something that is not really Sevilla's fault, but something that they were not being able to. It's not a piece of my mind.
Okay. Thank you very much for that. I think it makes sense. And by the way, Adelik, I think we'll be able to make it to top 4. It's not going to be easy, but I think we will. Again, Ty, is that peace of mind or a piece of mind?
No, it's not my peace of mind, man. It's something that Sevilla are dealing with. Sadly, that could affect us.
Okay.
We go for another week.
Okay. I should better say that I think Tuchel should explore other parts of Europe. There's lots of defenders out there, MLS or major league teams. Okay. They need to be recognized too. I get your argument. DJ, your thoughts on the development regarding Amanda Proyer?
Oh, it's excellent news. Excellent news. I like the way the tweet's gone in there saying Chelsea is off as of now. Yeah, which is great. So hopefully it will stay that way. But then we just never know what might happen. I'm actually pleased. I never wanted this kid to go out on loan. I wanted him to have a go at Chelsea. I've got very high hopes for him. I really think he can really make it at Chelsea, given the opportunity to do that. And I think he'll thrive at Chelsea. He's got a good manager, first of all. He's got good players around him to make him that player that he needs to be. And I think if he gets given the opportunity, I don't think he'll let anybody down. So that is just great news about him if he's going to stay. And on the other news you guys were just discussing, I've just kind of got something on that as well. And I know we're not allowed to discuss it, but I know what it is. And if it's the same thing I think it is, then I'm sure we'll be discussing it at some point later on or something like that. But the news on Brozier is excellent.
Yeah, it is an excellent news. Was that the update you're talking about? Have you already given us that?
Yeah, that's the update. The update of why this people were that way that Sevilla tried to do us over, but it's something that's out of their control per se. Something that they should have done before July, but they weren't able to do it because of things that should have been happening. So it's gonna affect us, unfortunately, and that is why Diego Carlos took longer than it was supposed to, because it was supposed to be done from January, but they used a different transferring company to get the written offer and the legal binding documents to Sevilla. That's Aston Villa, of course. But because of that, we're suffering right now. So that is why the case of Diego Carlos from Sevilla was an issue for Aston Villa. So we are suffering from the same thing as well.
Yep. Again, people, if you're coming in, 81 people watching, the 75 likes, please keep liking the video to help us reach more people. We sincerely do appreciate that. Yes, fourth place. Any chance we sign St. Maxima? But before we answer that question, I want to come to Phantom to let us know the news. And if you don't ask us to go add money and get rice, I'll ask you for your ID.
Okay, yeah. So if you can't say that okay, so you just blocked me already, because I wanted to use Brozier as kind of like worth 25, maybe $30 million to knock off some of that $75 million price to get Rice. But if we're not going to do that with West Ham, then yeah, give Brozier a chance. We'll keep him. I don't know how we're going to find room, because we have so many attackers that have no space. I mean, we got to unload somebody. It's got to be Werner or Hakim Ziyech or somebody, because look at all the people up front that need space and time, including Callum Hudson-Odoi, who should not be used as a right wing back because he just doesn't fit there. Thank you.
Yeah, I get your argument, I think, but I honestly do not want us for any reason to see the club. I do not want to see the club say, okay, we'll give you money plus Broya so you can give us rice. I don't think it's a business that makes sense. The midfield area, I think you can manage. We can actually manage it the way it is throughout the coming season. But we need an attacker, so why give them one? And after all, and again, I believe that the deal is off for real. I heard that West Ham are progressing with their pursuit of Scamacca. They've agreed a fee or something like that. I'm not sure, but that's by the way. Now let me just. I'll come back to this question here, but let me just skip through. Yes, fourth. We'll make it to the fourth. He said, based on our preseason performances as of now, we still lack the quality up front. Broya is good enough for 10, 15 goals a season. Tuchel need need to place him with starting this duo. Might spark up front again. That's a chance that happens. And Moshe Sabete said Chelsea will make the top four, but they won't win the league this season, unfortunately. Same as a few seasons ago. No way forward still. It is we are complacent with mediocre performances now. Which again, I think we've passed that era. I think that would change, and I think we're starting to say we're being strategic with our signings, and I think we see that they mean business. They really do want to back the owner. So I'm going to bring it back to this one, and I want to start with DJ South 17. DJ, bro, these rumors are linking us with Alan and Maxima. Your thoughts? Is he a player you want to see at Chelsea?
Hey, listen, I'm not gonna. I think he's a great player. I really do. Whether he'll come to Chelsea, I don't think it will happen. But yeah, I do rate him. If he can come to Chelsea, I mean, the guy's just. I mean, he's just unbelievable. I mean, he just when he's got the ball, he just when he's at you, he just bulldozes over all the defenders and gets past you. I mean, he's just an excellent player. But let's be honest, Newcastle will not sell him. And why would they? If you look at the money they've got, there's no and the owners that they've got, I can never see that deal happening at all. But yeah, he's a good player. I wouldn't say no to him. Let's put it that way. To come to Chelsea, but I cannot see for the life of me for happening. But a good link, a good discussion.
It is good discussion indeed. But here's honestly, bro, I have to disagree with you.
Really?
I don't think it's his Chelsea levels.
You don't think?
We're gonna look at his numbers. I think he's not. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but I don't think he's done enough. Maybe there's an argument if he comes to Chelsea, he does better.
Yeah.
You know the way I talk about him when I talk about him, DJ. I say he still plays like he's in primary school, or he still plays like he's a raw talent.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Oh, mate.
Yeah, sometimes I say he plays like he's a raw talent, and sometimes he even dribbles himself.
Listen,
mate.
Well,
necessarily, he plays like he's not polished. Go ahead.
Now, what I'll say to you is, if you ask me to, I mean, I do rate him as a player. If you ask me to choose between him and Rafael Leao, I would go for Leao over him in terms of that, because I do rate Leao very highly as well. So out of the two, I probably would go for him, but I don't think he's a bad player either. I think he's at a club like Newcastle where he's obviously got more to do, obviously being their main player in that team. And I think if he was to go to a team like a Chelsea or even any of the top four clubs, a Manchester City, a Liverpool, he improves them, and he can improve I think he can improve them, but he'll also improve his game as well. Because I'm not saying their manager's a bad manager. I think the manager's a good manager. I just think under those managers, I think he could become a better player. I don't know what your thoughts are on that.
No, I get your argument. I'm just saying overall, that's how I see it. I could be wrong, but look at these numbers here. He plays on the flanks, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen him play centrally. For somebody that played,
oh God, don't do this, please. Don't do this, please.
5 goals, 5 assists. Last 2 seasons, 3 goals, 4 assists. He's averaging 3-4. And you think that's enough?
No. Do you watch Newcastle, please?
Oh, good. Okay, I'm not going to go into it too much. Okay, I'll leave that one. I'll leave it on that one. All I'll say is on him. All I'll say on him is is you talk about people are making comparisons to Timo Werner, which I think is slightly harsh on him, because everyone seems to think he'll be like another Timo Werner, but he'll do a little bit more than Timo Werner. But I don't know, mate. I think he does work. I mean, like I can't get this guy's name, and I don't want to bad it. All I say is Iceman. Like he says, he does work hard for the team. What Iceman is saying. So in that way, he does work hard. But is he good enough to come to Chelsea in this moment in time? Probably not. But at the same time, I won't call him a bad player either.
No, I'm not. No, I never said that.
I know you're not.
I know you're
not. I'm just saying I won't call him a bad. I'm just saying I won't call him a bad player. That's all. From my perspective, point of view, I won't call him a bad player.
Again, there's a chance he comes to Chelsea, and starts firing on all cylinders, because maybe he'll be surrounded by better players. But from overall, what I think, I still think he's not a Chelsea, the type of player he had. I want to get your thoughts on that. Maybe after some maximum, we'll move on to the next topic we'll have to talk about.
Do you know? I don't think it's fair to judge Saint Maximin's goals when he's at Newcastle. And
who?
Saint Maximin. It's not fair to judge. Yes, he misses a lot of chances, but this is the reason why he has these amount of goals even before the season is because they didn't have any creator. They signed Bruno Guimaraes, who who has added more creativity to
No,
the team.
but where he played, he should be a creator himself too. He should
No, but
assist
not
a lot
everybody's
more.
a creator. Not everybody's a creator. And he does create as well. But sometimes, they had Joe Linton, who even before this season, well, not this season, the season that just ended or the season that ended up a couple of months ago, the reason why he's not really getting the more assists is because the person that he creates for, they're not clinical either. Almiron is starting to be clinical now. Guimaraes is scoring goals as well. He does create chances. He does dribble a lot. He does do that the ball at his feet, literally. Because the moment that he does, that's not dribbling, that's dancing. The man he's putting his foot over the ball and dance like Michael Jackson. So I mean, that is no, seriously, I'm not lying. He's acting like he's Michael Jackson. So I mean, in that sense,
my goodness.
So in that sense, I just don't think it's fair to judge him because he's at a Newcastle team that before Bruno Guimaraes, who has scored a lot of goals as a midfielder and plays as a DM sometimes, it's not fair to judge him because they don't have other creators really. I mean, they do have him and they signed Joe Willock from Arsenal and he plays some games and he comes off the bench. But I think it's not really fair. I think there's a good player in there, but I think he's not as clinical. I wouldn't take him, but I don't think really using those stats is really fair because they don't really have creators for most of the seasons.
Yeah. Again, I good argument right there. Again, there's a chance he comes to Chelsea because he'd have better players around him and he would do even better. But the truth remains, I don't think Newcastle sells. They've become a rich club, and you could argue it's one of their best players. But that's, by the way, he says fastens, Lacey's always looking like he's tripping. Guys know he's talking about. You need to consider the club he's playing for. I'm considering that too, and which means you're not going to get him. They're a rich club after all, even richer than us. If you ask me, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't done the research to be sure. False rumors
really?
to Saint Maximin.
There's
no chance, no interest. We need a Chelsea level players. If you spoke
who told you that, Phantom?
Not Maxima, I would understand. I'd rather us go for Sane. I have to be honest.
Okay.
He's played differently against Newcastle than us. Wouldn't find the space he does for them.
Can I answer Ty's question?
Yeah, go ahead.
These rumors there's like on Facebook, there's like these groups that come up with these crazy rumors, and I saw them on one of those boards. And when you see them on one of those boards, it always turns out to be false. And I don't want to say the name because then Coachella will get mad at me. But I saw it on their board, and once I saw it on their board, I knew it was falce. So
no, but they're not. Those boards are not the only ones. Are you talking about a website?
Okay, where's your source that this rumor?
I'm not talking about that. I'm asking a question. Is it a website or is it just a person putting it up? Because I know I'm on Facebook and I do see people saying that Ronaldo is doing his medical for Chelsea. I do see those clickbait.
It's a blog. There's a particular blog. Okay, do you want me to say it?
Don't worry about it. Even if you say it doesn't mean anything to me, but I know
I saw it on Sunrise Nigeria. That means it's not going to be true because they have never hit anything. They have never hit anything.
The Athletic said it as well. The Athletic said that they're looking at it as well.
Okay. But once I see it on, if I see it on Sunrise Nigeria, I just go like, and. So anyway,
I mean, they carry good news, but in terms of sports, I think they can make up some nonsense, and not just them. There is Give Me Football. Give Me Football sometimes carries nonsense. A lot of them do carry nonsense every now and then. But that's, by the way, again, believe me, I don't take offense. I know what you're talking about. Again, this argument right here, Ty, you wanted to say something about this True Blues argument on the screen.
I can't disagree with what he said. I cannot disagree with what he said.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't.
Yeah,
but I mean, I can use the fact that the two times that we played against Newcastle, I don't remember the scores, but I mean, I know that they were difficult to play against. When we scored 3-0 at one, I know that James scored twice and Jorginho scored a penalty. Mm-hmm. But I mean, Saint Maximan was giving Alonso a hard time. And people say, yeah, anybody can give Alonso a hard time. But the way that he was showing up Alonso, that is a violation. That I'm pretty sure Marcos Alonso went back to his hometown and then came back to the pitch, man. Because he was being showed up in a ways that the way he was being showed up is like when a girl plays with your emotions. That's basically the way he was being showed up. It's like he didn't know where he was, because it took him 5 seconds to realize that Saint Maximan was past.
Oh mate, that's a good one.
It's a good one. You lot, our friend.
Yeah, go ahead, Deals.
Our friend Gerard Romano, whatever his name is, just come
Fabrizio
out saying,
Romano.
Yeah, no, Gerard Romero.
Oh, do you remember?
Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah. That fucking idiot. Sorry. But that idiot is just come out and said,
Nah, don't call anybody any names.
Yeah, let's watch language. Go ahead. I can understand what you're saying. Go ahead.
He's come out saying things are happening. What things are happening? Like he keeps on coming out and saying this about Barcelona. Things are happening.
Because things are happening.
I really want to tell you, Deals. I think you're a bit emotional.
No, I'm not emotional.
Yeah, you don't have to actually wait for him to say anything for you to know it's not over yet. It is as simple as that.
I'm not worried about that.
Yeah. So don't worry about it. If you're not worried about it, don't pay attention to him. But the truth is, it's not over yet, but it's looking more likely that he's going to join us. I'm just going to keep it like that. It's as simple as that. It's not that simple. Again, we have 71 people watching and we have 79 likes, just 21 more likes to get to 100 likes. Again, and I think we still have about 30 minutes or so to go before the end of the show. Let me try and catch up with the chat. Sunrise, Nigeria. Hello, sir. I'm calling because Timo Werner is stuck in your bank account. I think that's the case. Not because he's a bad player. Again, he earns quite a lot of money, and that's why it probably won't be easy to sell him. Again, I hate talking this, but I'm going to say it anyway. Every time you hear players say, most of them, even they don't get to play that much game, they say, I want to stay and fight for my place. Simply, they mean I want to stay and keep earning money. But in Timo Werner's case, he's still young, probably would want to play more games, so he'd be selected for Germany for the World Cup, and because it's a World Cup year. Passing Sunrise mixed stuff up. Again, we want Werner to stay. We over needed Kounde deal done. I think it's going to be done. That's me being hopeful. Sabetta says, whether Maximum played around with Alonso or not on the pitch, Alonso scored goals that Maxima. Yeah, the Maxima. So that Maxima. So please, guys, no, we're not messing around. I think I kind of want us to give Timo another chance, but I'd play him further back than a striker, so he isn't offside so much. Again, that's funny there. Alonso scores more than yep, I know that. I know that's what you meant to say. Dortmund fans like Phantom approves the Lord and Sir Governor. Yeah, go ahead. You wanted to say something?
Though people are not thinking about it logically. The reason we have we create chances. Let's not forget, 3 of the chances that Alonso scored were created by Mason Mount. Even the ones that against Real Madrid, Mason Mount created it. He hit his hand supposedly, and then he took the shot and it went in. We have creators in our team. Before Guimaraes came to Newcastle, their creators were only Saint Maximin, and sometimes he would hit the ball so forceful that the ball would go way past everybody because of the how nervous he was under pressure. So that is why I can't really say that Alonso scored more goals than him, because we have creators in our team. If Saint Maximin has other players around him that create a chance for him to score more goals, he's going to score more goals. They've signed other midfielders, they've signed other players that have that creative output. So if he stays there, and you see that there's a strong chance that after that his output, his goal scoring output improves because they have creators now, or supposedly have creators. So I think in that sense, I just can't say that, oh, Alonso scores more goals than him. Yes, that's true, but they don't have creators, and one player alone cannot create everything and let them score more goals. But let's not forget they were scoring goals for fun on under what's his name, Eddie Howe. They were beating Brentford 3-0. They were ninth place. They dropped from they went from 17th, or not 17th, from 18th to 9th, and then they finished 15th. So they were doing things, and Bruno Guimaraes played a role in that. He slowly adapted to the league, and then he created more chances, and he scored goals as well. So I just cannot say that because of this that is the case, because Saint Maxima even had his injury issues as well. So that is something that people need to remember as well, and I think some people haven't watched Newcastle to understand.
If it comes, I'm not going to argue. Yeah, go ahead, Ty. Sorry.
And yeah, DJ sent something as well that really correlates with what I was saying about Kounde as well. So I'm not sure if you want to share what he said.
No, after you go ahead. You're talking. If you want to share, go ahead.
But basically there is a issue. There's two things. Obviously the company that they work with is an issue, and also the negotiating with another team in terms of getting their share of the Kounde sale. So I guess in that sense, because I think there's a sell-on clause that's there. So I think
that's a term. That's a term. Yeah, sell-on clause.
Yeah, so there's a sell-on clause. So because of that, they have to do it. So there's this negotiating going on, because I think Sevilla. I don't really understand the whole clause behind it, but I think they have to get a percentage of it as well. So I think in that sense that is a setback as well, and plus let's not forget, I think people need to remember this as well, and this is why when I heard that he went to Portugal to train with a team, I was not really jumping the gun and saying, oh no, he's going to Barcelona, he's listening to them, because let's not forget he had an injury, he had to do a little surgery, he was out for 3 weeks. 3 weeks has passed since that French game where he had to be subbed off at halftime. So in order for him to stay fit, or at least have some understanding of playing football again, he had to go out and train, and he's still a registered player for Sevilla. So going on with them on the little preseason training thing, it was sensible because he's still their player. And whether or not they wanted to leave him out of the squad, he decided to go because he wanted to be able to work with other people. And I mean, eventually he had individual training because they don't want to rush him back, really, because he's still recovering from the injury, even though he had his recovery period. So that is why there's also a situation where they don't want to really do signing anything or finalize everything all at once. They want to wait until he has a medical. So I think in that sense that is sensible, and that is why I think this is really postponing really a confirmation that here we go, or official statement soon, or whatever people want to hear from Romano or whoever they want to hear from. So I think people need to relax a bit in that regard. The only time that you can start to be nervous is if you hear Barcelona have come out of the shadows of pessimism that they had towards this deal or this saga, and they decide to make a bid that outbeats us. That's the only time you should have some level of concern. That's if you want Kounde, of course. If you don't want Kounde, then I understand that if he doesn't come, then you wouldn't mind. But I mean, that's one of the other reasons as well.
Yeah, thank you very much for that, Ty. Again, Phantom, I've read that. You're on the panel, you're in the chat. What do you want me to do, Phantom? Punyo Tadi says, defensible, we sorted, but what about attacking? I think the club, you could argue, they're still working on it, and we don't know anything about the attackers they're talking to. But I think everything will become clearer. As I think we're approaching halfway. We're halfway, almost halfway, or if we're not there already, halfway through the transfer window. I think we'll start to find out, yes, that the club are actually interested in bringing in attackers because that's an area we do need. We may be needing reinforcements, given that Timo Werner may leave, Hakim Ziyech may also leave. We'll see what happens there. Says, why do Barca decide to come in last minute for Kounde when they cannot match our bid? Makes no sense. Again, that's just people making up stories or click reasons, if you ask me. there are stories like Ty have explained. I think there's a courier issue or some other reasons he explained, or maybe Chelsea are asking. I think DJ shared this with me, and DJ, thank you very much for sharing this with me. Chelsea want for him to undergo medical force to be sure everything is right, and there's a chance that's not even the truth. And like we always tell you here on Chelsea Perspective, whatever you see out there, put them all in a single bucket and tag them speculations or rumors. Again, there's no way to verify these things. We trust some of them. For instance, now some are saying that Fabrizio Romano is waiting for the tapping. I don't blame him because I think he was too quick to speak, regarding the deals of Netanyahu, and also even though he worded that of Raheem Sterling carefully, but there was a time they were all saying it was done already, but it wasn't nearly done then. So these things, just put them into some bucket and label them speculations, but try to look at them, dissect, and then find a sensible conclusion. But don't hold your breath based on what you see out there. You're just going to lose your life for nothing. Again, until you see the player holding the shirt for the club, and then the club, Ty have also made a very good point. Until we get an official statement from the club, that's when you know it's done. Okay? Alonso all the way, again, you must be Alonso supporter. A few years ago, Alonso was regarded as one of the best left-wing back in the world. Yep, I think he did quite well on the what's his name?
Conte.
Under Antonio Conte too. Again, we need Alonso all season. Again, that Romero guy just pushes out news to get Barca out to act faster. Maybe that's the case. And then I'd say, from what I'm thinking, what I believe this now is that Barca are not interested in signing the player, and they're not going to come back for him. We are talking about a defender scoring more than a forward. So please, panel, much respect to Alonso for his goals. And do I want Thomas Tuchel to keep him? I want him to keep him because the way Thomas Tuchel plays the back three, the primary responsibilities of the wing backs and to defend, and he attacks very well. But that's my argument, and there's a chance he stays, actually, given what we're hearing. By the way, can we all just say combined? I can't even read that. Groups like Sunrise Nigeria postings, they take off normal media sources. Yep, that's the truth. I agree, mate. Alonso should stay. Again, that's what we think, but we don't know what's going to happen. Alonso needs to go. His time is up. Yes, he was good for us in the past, but now he needs to go. We need better players. Again, find a better player and then talk about letting him go. Then it will be easier. Werner gone for St. Maxima. That's what, to me, I wouldn't do that. Big up my people. Again, big up Steve Chelsea. Nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Again, we have 81 likes, just 19 more likes to get to 100 likes. Let's try to get to 100 likes at least before the end of the show. And if you haven't, also do subscribe to the channel. Again, we are not getting an attacker or a striker. We're going to stick with Broya. I think I'm okay by that. I have to let you know. Again, I'm going to scroll to the very bottom and come back to the panel. DJ, coming to you. This information, this tweet you shared with me, what do you think about it, really?
Yeah, I think this situation with his old club, I think that there was always this situation, regardless whoever he was to go and join. It was true that Bordeaux would need to get some of that money, because obviously they apparently sell on.
Yeah, the sell on.
Yeah, when he got the sell, when that how happened. So that was always going to be the case. So it's obviously something that needs to be sorted out. And I think that's, as I said, that's all been mentioned on here. I think that's probably what's probably causing this whole delay on him. And like Ty said, we may have to wait for a week for this deal to actually be finalised, should everything all go through. Just going back to what you're saying about this Gerrard guy, I mean, he just tweeted something else 5 minutes ago saying that apparently Kounde's told his agent to wait for Barcelona. Again, this is just all nonsense, I do believe. I think this guy seems like he wants him at this football club more than anything in the world. So he's tweeting a lot of things at the moment. So I still think he's going to come to Chelsea. It's just a matter of just being patient and letting this whole thing go through. But like Tyson, it's going to be another week, mate, until we know more on this.
Yeah, until we'll know more on this, indeed. And again, Bayern did not hijack the lead. We weren't serious about it, and probably because of the price tag or something. Again, a good night, gents. Tomorrow, see you tomorrow, and hopefully we get some good news regarding Kounde tomorrow. There's no need to let Werner go. Again, it's not up to us. It comes down to what the manager wants. Tuchel seeing the pressure from media, then have no choice I don't think that's the case. I think he really wants to keep the player. Again, we need just 16 more likes to get to 100 likes. Please keep liking the video if you haven't. SI.com, Chelsea and Spurs are both interested in Michael Jackson's protege. I'm not sure I've heard that player's name. Yeah, but I'll try to read what you shared. It makes more sense for Kounde to join us, specifically when Bordeaux will get more money from the selling clause. Plus, he gets paid even more, much more than Barcelona are willing to pay him. Again, things are happening. Indeed, things are happening due to Werner must stay. It's not up to us, believe me. We can talk about Werner from today to next week. It doesn't change anything. Again, people keep liking the video. 15 more likes to get to 100 likes. We can get there. Please, if you haven't, take a second to like the video. Coming back to the panel, Phantom, your thoughts.
Okay, so if the hang-up is medical over, because he had some minor surgery earlier, then I don't care. Wait a week, wait 2 weeks, who cares? But if he keeps wanting to go to Barcelona, then do we really want him? Because is he going to turn out to be another Lukaku kind of person who's going to, next year, if things don't work out, say, oh, I should have gone to Barcelona and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm worried about that a little bit, that he doesn't really want us, kind of like Rafinha didn't really want us. So but
there's no way to confirm that.
Yeah. But yeah, because we don't know, because there's so much in, rumordom that I wish sometimes that some of the players or some of their player agents would just come out and dispel some of these rumors. Like if there's a false rumor about their clients, they could just come out and say, no, he's very happy to go to either team. Don't listen to the rumors. Or, I wish their agents or their people would come out and dispel some of the rumors for us so that we know. As far as Callum Hudson-Odoi is concerned, I don't know if there's going to be enough room. I'm just reading what you're scrolling right now.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if there's enough room for Callum Hudson-Odoi to be, where he wants to be, which is what Werner calls the number 11 spot, which is where he, Pulisic, and himself, and even Mount kind of prefers to be in that spot. So there's 3 or 4 or 5 players that want to be there. And if he cannot play right wing back for us, then maybe it's time to move Callum Hudson-Odoi along to a German team as well. That's all.
Yeah, we'll see. Again, while I'm still with you, I want to get your final thoughts on it or everything we talked about today.
Okay. So I'm happy that we got Kounde, because I think...
You're saying we got him already? You think we got him?
I think we do. I mean... It's pretty much done deal, isn't it? I mean, other than the medical, isn't that the holdup right now? It's not any. I mean, Barcelona is not going to magically come up with this money because they don't have it. So I mean, Barcelona has just been trying to trip us up. I don't know why, but Barcelona's, I think, become our number one enemy right now, even bigger than Tottenham or Arsenal, right? As far as our enemy team, I think Barcelona is it. As far as everything else, Kounde's, I think he's coming at this point. We already have the Sterling. We have the Koulibaly. We're just lacking one defensive midfielder, and I think we're done for the trading window.
Yeah.
Because who else would you want?
Yeah. Thank you for that. Sorry?
Yeah. No, I said other than a defensive midfielder, what else are we lacking? I don't think we're lacking anybody.
I think we need not just a defensive midfielder. I think we need midfielders that can create more chances. Midfielders that can also add to score goals. I don't think we have that right now. The only person that creates from the midfield for us in terms of from, let's say, if I'm specifically the 2 6s, is Mateo Kovacic, but he doesn't do that consistently. He can, on most occasions, I think, on occasions, he's been able to pick out some great passes. One, I think, once was for Romelu Lukaku. One was for Callum Hudson-Odoi against Norwich City. I think the one for Romelu Lukaku, I forgot what team. So again, we need midfielders that can get us goal, and that's why I'm calling for us to seriously look at the young. If he's refused to go to Manchester United because they don't offer Champions League football, we should give it a try, because if you don't buy tickets, you're never gonna win lottery. Again, I want to say the poll here that asks, do you think Werner will remain at Chelsea? 67% still thinks he will remain, while 33% thinks he will not. Again, 63 people watching. If you haven't, please take a second to like the video. We need just 13 more likes to get to 100 likes. Moshe Sabete says a lot of players just like Barcelona. Why? They have rich history. That's why they have a big pool. People just want to say, okay, I played for Barcelona. Even it sounded like some of them wouldn't mind taking even a crazy pay cut to get to play for them. Lewandowski being a prime example and all that. But that's, by the way, again, but I don't think Kounde is waiting for Barcelona. Maxima is big no for me. Please, Chelsea, don't sign him. But DJ thinks he will do it for us. Again, it's a chance. That's a possibility. Waiting for final approval and checks of documents. And then here we go. Can you elaborate a bit? Chip Slime says, no, we don't. What is this man talking about? What are you referencing? Do we listen to Gerard Moreno? He's saying that things are happening. Yeah, what the heck is the things that are happening? I don't know. Barcelona do have the money, that's for sure. But most people are quick. That's mix up, Barcelona's debt with the with them not being broke, and there's a difference between those two things. The debt is something that I can take care of over the years. They don't have to pay it off right now. It says don't listen to Romero. He just pushes. What did he say? Okay, he just pushes news to make Barcelona act faster. That may well be the case for the Ides Know. I don't know if that's in fact the case. DJ, I'm going to come to you. I know it's really late for you, and I appreciate you staying until now.
Not at all.
Your thoughts on everything we talked about, and if there's anything else you want to let us know, feel free, brother.
Yeah, just to let you, I just want to correct you on something, mate. I didn't say Maximum was right for us. I just said that there are better options.
No, that's just me looking for your trouble.
I should have known, mate. No, listen. Listen. He's, as I said, I just want to come on this whole situation. I think there are better options than him out there. I'm not saying he's the option, but there obviously are better options. I just said that if he was like the last minute thing that we needed to bring in, and that was the only thing, then yeah, maybe it could be an option to look at. In terms of what we've discussed today, listen, it's been a lot of Kounde today. I think a lot of the Chelsea fans are still panicking over this Jules Kounde deal. To be fair, I've stayed cool about the whole situation. The only time I think I said it in your comments, I do believe in you doing one of those things. I do believe on Friday, I think I said it, on Thursday I said it when I said I don't think if he keeps on asking for Barcelona, then just let him go to Barcelona. At the end of the day, we want players that want to play for us, not players that's working for other clubs. But I can also understand his situation, because we did kind of like leave him. We've kind of left him we've left his situation for a while now. We've been looking at him, and we've kind of like messed him around to some degree as well. So I can understand why he feels that way. But I've always said it. I still think he'll become a Chelsea player, and I've always been cool about it. And I just think that it's just a matter of just waiting. Let these last minute things happen that need to be done about the obviously the medical, the Bordeaux money situation. Once that's all done, it's going to take another week or two for it to all get sorted out. and I do believe he'll become a Chelsea player. So, yeah, great discussions as always. It's always good talking with you guys, and
It's always good
I've
having
enjoyed
you
it.
on the panel, brother.
I've enjoyed it all as always.
Yeah, thank you very much. I appreciate you finding time to join us. I cannot thank you enough. I must let you know. Ty, coming to you, I want to get your thoughts on all the things we talked about, and if you want to add anything to it, feel free to do so, brother.
It was a good show. It was very controversial. It was debate. There was a lot of debates, and it was funny. So yeah, but it was a good show. Very objective, and it was a good discussion. I mean, all we can do is just hope that Kounde gets finalized soon, and we get more information that goes in the direction that proves that he may come to Chelsea. Right now, I just don't know what to believe, because at any moment Barcelona could snatch up, because this narrative that they don't have any money is not true. And I mean, you've said it. True Blue has said Barcelona have money. That doesn't make you broke if you're in debt. You can have debt, but also have money, and you can use the fact that although it's a different situation, and we didn't owe players or anything, but we had debt, but we still had money. So and I know that we had a very drastic amount of loss during the pandemic and everything, and all sorts of things. But there is a case where people need to understand that they do have money. The fact is that in order for them to not fully go against financial fair play, they have to level off the books. They have to ensure that they sell players so that they can also register players, because they do have this debt that they owe to clubs and players. So they have to sort that out as well. So that is one of the reasons. But it was a good show, and I mean everything. But by the way, DJ, please don't leave. I want to speak to you about something that you can
Sure.
leave.
No worries, bro. Cool.
Yeah, just 1 second. I'm going to share something quickly with people in the chat. What's the name of this brother there? Just give me 1 second quickly. And then who asked that question? Kali Chelsea FC. Here's the thing: if you want to join the panel, here's the link. You have to follow us on Twitter. Again, send me a DM via Twitter. We're being cautious on how we share the links to the panel in the chat, because a lot of my fellow content creators have been through quite a lot of people coming onto the panel and showing things that are viewers and has gotten the channels were shut down. Actually took them time to get it back, so we don't want to risk that. So if you want, I've sent you the link to the Twitter. Follow us on Twitter, follow Chester's Perspective on Twitter, and then send me a DM message saying you want to join the panel, and then I will confirm your ID. I will ID you first of all, and then I will send you the link. That's how we do it. And then we're already coming to the end of this particular show. Maybe the Blue Morning Show or the evening show tomorrow. Again, I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Phantom, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I want to say that I'm a lot more comfortable with what Todd Boehly and the ownership group is doing now than I was 2 or 3 weeks ago at the beginning of the transfer window, when everybody was freaking out and panicking that we were the only Big Six team that wasn't signing anybody, and every one of the other Big Six teams were making moves. But I feel confident now that Chelsea can at least maintain the Champions League status, at least get 4th place for the season. Like I said, I think we need a DM. I'm a defensive midfielder. As far as the attacking is concerned, I think Raheem Sterling is going to do wonders for us. If we get another attacker, then we really need to get rid of like 2 attackers, don't we, to make room?
Yeah. Again, thank you very much. I think we need a DM, and also add to that, we need midfielders that will create more chances and also score more goals for us. And just quickly, let me catch up with the chat, and then we'll call it a day. Until Kounde is holding a shirt jersey and shaking hands with a TT. Until then, he's a Sevilla player, and until he's announced officially. But I think by that time, when he's holding the shirt and taking the picture, shaking hands with TT, it's already done. So you're correct. The pay is available. Barca are looking to sell him. That's one player I wouldn't want us to go for. Again, I don't think I don't know how to argue that, but I don't think do well for us. If Tuchel thinks he can, I'm not going to argue against that. They signed Lewandowski for 15 million, but won't sign Aspi for 8 million. I highly doubt they will spend 55 million on Kounde. What we're hearing, they already openly say they're not going to do that. But that's by the way. Barca was the most successful and beautiful club in the world for 10 years ago. Now it's just a broth. That's
disrespectful.
Oh my goodness. Be nice a little bit. Mario Totti. That's funny though. I have to laugh. We didn't sign, but even with players we have, I feel it's enough to challenge the City and Liverpool. It depends on how the manager wants to approach the game. Much as I love Aspi, you cannot compare compared to Lewa. Again, that's the truth. I think Lewa is he holds much better value than Cesar Azpilicueta does. So, but still, it's still so much to pay for a player at this age. With that, I want to say thank you to all the panelists. Please look at them, see their Twitter handles. Phantom has a YouTube channel. Go check out his YouTube channel and be sure to subscribe. Sam as Talk CFC, be sure to subscribe. Also follow DJ Sab. Follow him on Twitter. Be sure to follow him because I know he has something nice coming up soon. I don't know what, but you want to follow him. You've heard him talk football. I want you to follow him so that when that something nice is ready to be taken off the stove and be kept on the table, you'll be there to be part of it. Again, also follow Chelsea Perspective. I'd really appreciate that. And Choma, yourself, one day, says a great discussion panel. Good night, all. Good night to you too. I hope to see you during the Blue Morning Show if you have time, or the evening show. Guys, we're not a top 2 level till that sucks again. Thank you, Sabetta, for joining. Thank you, Choma. Thank you, True Blue. Thank you, Mario. Thank you, Mosho. I think I've seen that. Thank you, Chip Miles. Thank you to Carly, Chelsea FC. And then again, to every other person in the chat, if I miss your name, apologies. I'm only human. I hope to see you guys tomorrow for another Blue Morning Show, or maybe during the evening show. Thank you all. God bless us all, and cheers.
YouTube.